Hello my friends, today I will tell you what is SEO and I will tell you why would you even care to learn something what is called SEO. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, which means that you want to optimize, which means you want to improve your websites so that they will be as high as possible when somebody search using something what is called search engine, like for example Google. Okay, so the process of SEO will allow you to be very high in the Google, right? And it is very important, right? Why would it be important? Because if somebody visits your website, it can be a customer, it can be a subscriber, it can be somebody who will read your, for example, blog, and then later he will, for example, give it to somebody else, right? He can share your website. So it is very important to have visitors on the website. It's very logical, right? Because if you didn't have visitors on your website, what would be the reason of even creating a website, right? So it is very important for us to have as many visitors as we can for as many as possible logical keywords. Okay, what is a keyword? Keyword, as the name suggests, is a word that is a key to your website, that is gonna open your website like any key, right? So it is a word, something that has a meaning. So for example, when we type C++ from beginner to expert, right? These are a few keywords, so it is a phrase, and they point to, for example, Udemy websites where I have the course about the C++, right? And now when somebody is here, he can read about my course and then later, for example, buy it. So because of that keywords that lead to here, I have probably now a potential customer, right? So it's very good, right? So that's why you want to be as high as possible in Google. So to sum up, the more keywords leads to your website, the better for you. Why? Because there is bigger chance of somebody becoming your customer, or somebody that will click on ad on your website, or somebody will share your website, and so on, right? So the more the better. But it's not always like that, because sometimes you can lose your time on improving your website for some keywords that will not bring you these people, right? These people like customers, like subscribers. For example, my course is for beginners, right? It's gonna allow people come from beginner to expert, but it's not for experts. So if somebody is looking for the book or something about C++ for experts, he will type something like C++ for expert, right? And as you can see, my website is no longer here. It is very logical that it's not here, because it would be loss of time to try to position my website higher in the Google ranking, right? Because I wouldn't have any customer here, and there is lots of examples like that. You also should know that people are not gonna click other website than the first four. Well, you can be the example. Please tell me, when have you ever searched something in the Google and you clicked the link that was, for example, last year or on the second page, right? I don't remember when I clicked something on the second page. The most time when you do not find something here in the first four positions, you just gonna do what? You're gonna probably change how you put your keywords here, right? You're gonna add something, you're gonna remove something. That's how you do it, and that's how most people do. That's very rare that somebody clicks something else. The problem is that if you want to exist in the internet, you need to be here in the first four positions for the keywords that you are interested in. And that's the thing that I want to teach you in this course. In my course, I will do everything I can to make it happen, okay? To make your goal to be achieved. You need to keep in mind that you need to be patient. You need to calm down when you want to achieve the results in the SEO. You have to keep in mind that when you change something, when you make improvements on your website that we will talk in future, your website will not instantly show up here in the first positions. Oh, so you are lying me, you might be thinking now? No, I'm not lying you, but the problem is that right now there are over billions of websites in the Google search engine. So it means that if you update your website, it has to be also updated by Google, right? So it means that the something what is called a robot, okay, there is something what is called a robot. So this something what is automatically searching websites on our big web on the internet, right? And it analyzes each website, and when it analyzes it, it's gonna put them, depending on how they analyze your website, in the Google results, okay? So for the people who are gonna search for it. And that's how it goes. And that's what we want to also know in the future lessons. We want to know how the hell all these robots work. What are their algorithms, right? How do they analyze our websites? What we should focus on? Where should we put our keywords on our website? What should we exactly do to make it happen so we are very high here, okay? So keep in mind, even if you change your website, you will not see the results instantly. But hey, it's gonna help you, and it's gonna help you, over time, right? Every month you're gonna become higher and higher if you do everything what I said in this course, okay? So you need to be patient. That's very, very important. Small changes every day, and someday, probably after 2 weeks, maybe 1 month, maybe 2 months, you're gonna be higher, or maybe after 6 months you're gonna be first, right? It really depends on how much work you're gonna input into your website. Please keep in mind that you do not need to be a pro to be high in Google for some phrases. I will teach you how to search for keywords that will allow you to position your website higher and at the same time bring you customers, subscribers, and fame, okay? So if you have any questions regarding covered topics so far, or if you have any questions later, remember that you can ask me and I will try to help you, okay? And please keep in mind, as I said, be patient and you will achieve your goal. Hello, it's time to introduce myself. My name is Arkadiusz Rodaczek and I've been developing websites for over 14 years. I've got lots of experience in this matter, really. I am the author of 27 very popular video courses about programming and web development in Poland. I've also created 6 video courses in English. I put all my heart into creation of courses and I always try to explain everything the easiest possible way. I guarantee you that my courses will help you in the web development adventure. Remember that if you have any questions regarding covered topics, just create a discussion or send me a message and I will help you as fast as possible. I am always happy to help. Keep also in mind that you can request a full refund up to 30 days time, so you have 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Good luck and have a good day. Hello my friend, the most important thing to make sure you rank high in Google is to create a website that pays attention to something what is called user experience, because this is the key to success. And why is that so? Because if the users are satisfied by the results Google gives them, then more and more people will use Google's products even more often. So if you feel like something might improve the user experience, then it had probably already been considered as one of the factors that helps rank high in Google. We will learn these factors in future lessons, but for example for now, think about the speed of your website. Does your website load fast? If not, then people might leave your webpage very fast and they will be dissatisfied, which leads to bad user experience, right? That's why you have to focus on making your website loading faster, okay? I will show you in future lesson how to solve this problem, but right now I just want to make sure you understand the concept. Why? Because I knew that Google considered speed of website, or soon would start to consider it before any SEO expert knew about it, okay? And I knew it only because I knew that Google will take into consideration anything that is easy to measure, okay, hard to fake, and in the same time improves user experience. There are other things like that, for example, a mobile-friendly website, which improves user experience for people who uses mobile devices, and that's why it is important to have a mobile version of your site, okay? Of course, we'll talk about how to speed up your website, how to make mobile version, and so on, right? But for now, just remember that user experience is the base of other factors you will soon learn in future lessons. This lesson will help you memorize things that I will tell you in future lessons. Because if you give your brain a reason why something is important, then the information like that is easier to remember. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Hello my friend, today I am going to tell you what are robots, how do they think, and why are they so important in the SEO. Well, simply put, robots are just programs that were created by Google, and that programs travel through links. They go to websites and then they look at the content of the website, and depending on that content, what they see there, how it looks, then they decide how to classify that website in the Google ranking, okay? So robots are the key for us to become first in the Google ranking, right? We need to know how they think. If we do not know how they think, then, well, we won't achieve any good results in Google, okay? So let's, for example, open this catalog, demos. This is the biggest, well, and it is probably one of the most official catalog that is supported by Google. So it's a good idea to add your site here. However, they add only good sites, so, well, we need to know how to create them properly. I will, of course, teach you how to do it so they do not think that you are just spamming. Okay, well, when you look at that website here, when the robot, which sometimes is called spider, enters this website, they are called spiders because, you know, spiders walk on the web, and, well, it is the web page. So when the spider walks into this page, it looks at the content, okay? It sees all the possible text and all possible links, right? Here we have got links everywhere. And when, for example, he finds a link like that, firstly, he needs to see if he can go there, because, well, sometimes you want to restrict some content from the bots because you do not want it to be indexed. It happens. Like, for example, why would you want to index, for example, the terms and condition of your website, right? It would be just waste of space. So when, for example, we have got here art, right? Well, the robot understands this word, okay? They are intelligent, they understand arts, business, computers, because, you know, the creators told them that, well, computers are associated with, for example, words like PC, like internet, software, and other things like that, right? So when we click on the computers, and when the robot enters the computers, he expects words like, for example, the one that are here. And if you create your own website, and you name your link computers, and there are no keywords that are connected to computers, then this robot might think, oh, this guy is trying to scam me, right? So it is very important to create the content for each web page. You can't have the empty page and, you know, suppose that your website will rank high in Google. That's just impossible. You need to create a great content, okay? That's the first step. And that content must be similar to the keyword that links to you, okay? So, for example, we have got here computers, and as you can see, we have got things dedicated to computers, like, for example, algorithms. When you go to algorithms, as you can see, we have got subcategories and they are connected to the algorithms. And let's go, for example, to complexity. Okay. And as you can see now, we have got here what? We have got here a few keywords inside the link, and here we have got a description of that thing above. Now let's read this description. This is a preliminary version of the catalog of NP optimization problems. Have you noticed that this description is connected to the link? Right, a compendium of NP optimization problems, right? So as you can see, you have got here 2 times NP optimization problem, NP optimization problems. This is a description that is really connected to this link. And you know, the spider that is on this website now likes this link even more for these keywords, right? For the NP optimization problems, okay? So the thing that you should learn from it is that when you are creating articles on another web page, it doesn't need to be your web page, and you link to your main web page that you want to position up in the Google, then you should create a content with the keywords that you are interested in, right? So for example, here as you can see is NP optimization problems. If you wanted to position on bicycle, you should type something with the bicycle here and also here, right? But of course, it doesn't mean that if you type it, for example, 100 times, then you're gonna position higher. No. If you overdo it, then you're gonna be banned. Okay, so you're gonna lose everything. What you just not gonna show anymore in the Google. Because Google bots are not so stupid, right? You need to know how frequent you want to use these keywords. I will teach you how frequent you should use keywords like that in future lessons. Right now, I just want you to know how robots think. They look at the content. And if that content is friendly, if that control is really could be useful for somebody, then yeah, it's okay. What else means useful for the spider? Well, look at that link here. Isn't it friendly link when you look at it? Computers, computer science, theoretical complexity theory. That's really great link. But some people have links like, for example, index.php, exclamation mark, p equals 4, and g equals 24, and bam, 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 bam. This is not friendly, okay? So Google bots look at every possible thing that could make your website more friendly. Like, for example, let's go on this website. Let's check the source. So Ctrl+U on, I use the shortcut. And let's, for example, for headers. As you can see here, we have got the header, a compendium of NP optimization problems. So let's look here. Oh, here is a headline, right? A headline that is bolded, and it means for Google, hey, this is very important. That's the thing that not only robots see as important, but also the person that entered this website instantly see that, hey, this is a competitive NP optimization problem. Okay, so this means that this thing is gonna be important, and we should rank this website higher for this keyword. And of course, if you, for example, repeated it 500 times here without any other content, then you would get banned, okay? So don't overdo it. But the important thing that I want to tell you is that the Google looks for things like headers, it looks for images. As you can see, there is no images, so this website is probably not so friendly. But maybe there are so many people linking to it that if you type this, it's gonna be first anyway, right? Because the most important for Google is how many people links to you, how they link to you, what is the content around the links, and what is your content, right? Okay, so let's repeat the thing that we have learned in this lesson. What do spiders do? They look for links, for the name of links, for the environment of links, so if there is a text, image that surrounds the link. and they have in their algorithm over 300 factors. I haven't said that, but there is over 300 factors taken into consideration how your website is gonna be indexed in Google ranking. We will learn in future lessons these factors. They check if the website is friendly, right? This is very important, Trend. By friendly, I mean if it has pictures, how they are called, or even if you use headlines to separate your text, which makes it easier to read, right? That's why when you have got headlines on your website, it's good when you have, for example, the title headline, when you have got the sub headlines, right? For content, it makes your content more readable, right? It's easier to read. And well, the Google thinks, hey, okay, this website is good because that guy that created it knows how to write. So this content might be good for our users, okay? So, what matters the most? The most important thing in SEO is how other talks. How do they link to us, okay? And what content we have. As we have noticed, here is a catalog, and that catalog talks about this, right? This website here, and it talks like that. Here, the link is a compendium of NP optimization problems, and here is some kind of description of it. Well, it would be better, but well, it's not possible to have in catalog like that so much text. If there was an article about the compendium of NP optimization problems, big article with over at least 500 words, and then inside of it, that good article about this exactly problem, which would be unique, would be there would be inside a link like that. Then it would be even better, okay? So robots are taking into consideration how people links to you. And that's why it's very important to learn how to get links, and that's what we of course gonna do in the future lessons, and how to create a great content. So for example, your company website won't be linked if there is not any useful or funny information on it. So if you do not have articles about the content that you have, or you have got description of the content of your website which is very short, then it's gonna be hard for you to position up. I will of course give you hints how to change it, because people tends to link to things that are just useful or fun. They rarely link to commercial website. That's why you must create content like that. So for example, you can create a forum that they can talk with each other. And what's more, in order to rank it high, you need to know how to create the content. So when the robots see your content, it will make it run higher, right? And that's the things that we'll learn in our future lessons. Okay, that's only the lesson. Thank you very much. Hello, my friends. Today we are going to talk about the differences between the black and the white hat SEO. Well, what is the black hat? Black hat suggests that somebody is going to do bad things. White hat suggests that somebody is going to do good things. So, black hat are strategies that are bad for your site. Well, they are good for a second, but if you are caught, and you will be sooner or later caught, then you will just get banned. So it means that you are gonna be deleted from the Google index. Okay, so never use the black hat SEO. And I'm going to tell you a few examples. So for example, keyword stuffing, which means that you put a lot of the same keywords, so a lot of the same words in your website, and you just spam them, okay, everywhere you can. And well, it might be useful for your site, but not for the user, and you might improve your ranking just for a moment, because soon this subsite or the whole website might get banned. Okay, so don't do it. I will tell you the amount of keywords that should be and where you should put keywords in order to be the person who wears the white hat, okay? You should also try to avoid things like invisible text, because you can show, which means cloaking, right? It means you can show the person different side, and to the bot you can show the different side. Yes, it's possible, but it's very bad. And if you get caught with that, that's 100% that you're gonna be banned. Okay, so do not wear the black hat because you're gonna be banned. Okay, you shouldn't buy the links, you shouldn't exchange the links. When you don't do it so often, then maybe nothing will bad happen, right? But if you overdo it, that's not good. Okay, so we will focus on in this course, and I will show you the best white hat strategies that will boost your rankings. Okay, you can read about it, as you can see what are the ways that you can use while you wear the white hat, and which one you can avoid, for example, from these images. But this is just something that when you read, it's like this, and you will forget, right? So we'll focus on each white hat SEO, and well, it's a good idea to just know that you should avoid things that might seem like good for you, but they are bad for your users. So anything like you see block, comment, spam, that's not good for people, right? They are not happy when they see comment spams in blogs, right? It's like not good for everybody. So if something is good for everybody, it means you are using the white hat techniques. That's the thing you have to remember. If you just follow this one rule, then everything is going to be all right. Okay, so let's try to use the white hat techniques, and I invite you to the next lessons. Hello everybody, right now we are on the website gs.statcounter.com, and this website provides us with the statistics of the users in the internet. I chose from the options to show us how search engine market share looks like in the USA. You can change it any time from this place to the region that you are interested in, but anyway, it's almost always gonna look the same. Well, once the Google will have over 95% of the market, once even 99%. Right now it has got over 85%, which is, as you can guess, a lot. So when you look at this chart, you might be wondering if the lesson shouldn't be called the only search engine that matters, and you would be right. Okay, so it means that if you do not exist in Google Index, you do not exist in internet almost at all. And that thing is true as far as I know in every country that Google engine exists. Okay, and this course is called SEO from beginner to expert, but will focus only on Google engine. Why? Because almost all engines like similar things. Okay, they just have smaller or larger problems with spamming websites. So the websites that uses black hat techniques, so the bad techniques, right? Anyway, why even bother looking at the other engines? When you focus on Google, we will be totally fine, because you are hitting over 85% of the market in the USA, and in other countries, for example, in my country, it's over 98%. So after taking this course, your website should be fine in every search engine. However, we'll focus our attention on Google. Thank you very much, and as always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Hello! Everything starts with the words type in the search box right here. These words that the users of the internet type in the search box are called keywords. And they are called keywords because they are so crucial. They are so important because they are the opener of all the search results. When I click the enter, I have got search result. They are the key to getting to the results the searchers desire. So ranking for the right keywords is the most important factor you have to always think about. So does it mean that you should rank for all possible keywords? Definitely not. Why not, you think? Because if you are running a bicycle shop and, for example, you do not sell bicycle parts, and you decide to rank high for bicycle parts, right? What is even the purpose of doing such thing?
nobody will find the content that they were looking for on your website. In that case, the bicycle parts. They will be just dissatisfied. You are just selling bicycles. You do not sell bicycle parts, which means that you should always focus on ranking for keywords that are relevant, that are suitable to your website. Keywords should always match what is on your website. So if you are selling bicycles, you should look for keywords like bicycle shop and name of your town, for example, okay? Or the bicycle plus the model of your bicycle, right? Because there are many models of bicycle, rider or something like that. You are selling, right? This will give you the best results because people will find the content that they were really looking for. And what is interesting, Google can check if the user had instantly closed your website. If it happens, it means for Google that your website wasn't proper for the user. On the other hand, if the user found the content that he was looking for and he spent on your website a few minutes, it means your content is good. And if something is good, believe me, Google will be glad to hear that and you will be rewarded. So how to look for the right keywords? For the keywords that will lead to your website and will make the visitors happy. Attention please, because the thing I will say now is very, very important. You must try to become your customer visitor. Try to think, what would he type in Google search engine in order to find the content like you have on your website? Okay, now let's exercise a bit together on an imaginary example. Let's imagine you are a dermatologist, okay? So you are a doctor who cares for people's skin. You have your own website about yourself and the services you offer. The first step to keyword research is to imagine you are right now a customer of your website. So imagine you are a person who has, for example, acne on his face. What would you type in search box right here? Would you type only dermatologist? Or maybe more, because, well, one dermatologist might be good in one thing, another thing, like, well, you could look for the opinions of dermatologists who are good with, for example, acne, right? So you would add acne probably here, right? You would add the skin problem you have. You would also probably add the place you are in right now, for example, London, right? Of course, you would add, for example, review because you would like to get to the best dermatologist you can. Maybe price, how to treat acne or something like that, right? Or maybe before going to the dermatologist, you would type how to treat acne, right? Or maybe you're a popular doctor and the customer knows your first and last name. Wouldn't it be great to rank for it too? And well, that's why you should create the content that represents these keywords. But in this lecture, we will focus only on how to research these keywords. Don't worry, I will show in the future how to put each of that keyword on your website so you rank high in Google. Keep in mind that the first step is always research. Because if you rank for the wrong keywords, you will not get the visitors you want. What are the other ways of researching keywords? The first thing is ask your friends. Your friend might totally surprise you how differently he would look for the same website. Friends can be a good source of keywords that you would have never thought about. Look at forums that are connected to your business. Look, what keywords are people using in their posts? What questions do they ask? Maybe you could answer one of that question on your website, which could boost amount of visitors. Look at your competition websites. Look what they offer to others and try to give more, or at least the same amount of things. Compare their content and what they rank high in Google. You can have the same content or even better content, right? If somebody hired you as SEO expert to rank his website up, you should ask him about the details of his business. Ask him what people are looking for. Remember that You are new to his business and he was in it for a long time, so he might have lots of great ideas that you do not have yet. There are also lots of online tools, and these tools work like that. When you put a keyword in these tools, you will get propositions regarding the keyword and estimation of how many people are using that keyword. We'll talk about this method in another lecture because it's a pretty long topic. So, to sum up, attention please guys, because it's very important what I will say now. Getting into your visitor's shoes is the first step to keyword research. Remember, customers are not searching for your website. They are searching for valuable information to solve their problems. So you should always think about problems they have and focus on solving their problems, not yours on your website, okay? So always ask questions like, is the keyword relevant to your website content? Will searchers find the content they were looking for on your website? Will they be satisfied with the things they found? Will these keywords benefit myself? Will I have a chance of getting a subscriber or a customer from that keyword? If you had answered to everything yes, then you can proceed to the next step, which is changing your website so it goes up in ranking for these keywords that you have thought about. But about that thing we will talk in future, okay? Go on your website right now and look at it and try to find what exactly you have on your website that is interesting for other people and write it down on paper. Or maybe think about what is missing and try to make an article about this thing. I will show you how to make, of course, these articles to be best, to be so they will rank high, but try do it on your own right now. Try to do things that can improve your website. Okay, thank you very much. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Hello guys. Today I will show you the best free online tools that will help you research your keywords for the website. So these tools will give you ideas for the keywords, okay, that you could use to rank up higher. So the first tool that is free and it's very fast to use is just Google. When you start typing here something, for example, bicycle, as you can see, you have got already a few ideas here. But that's not all. When you, for example, do something like bicycle part, as you can see, when you go to the bottom, motorcycle bike parts of motorbike, bicycle gearing, bike parts names PDF. As you can see, you have got here searches related to bicycle part, okay? When you type, for example, flowers, as you can see when you go to the bottom, you have got flowers delivered in United Kingdom, okay? Cheap flower, okay, so it's a good idea to add a cheap keyword on your website, right? Flowers download, maybe that's not a good idea unless you have got flowers in the JPEG format, in the image format, right? Next day delivery flowers, that's a good one. That's a good idea to offer next day delivery for flowers and then make information about it, make a special sub-site on your site that will talk about how fast you can deliver the next day. Everything is gonna be the next day. I'm sure it's gonna you're gonna achieve the flowers next day and you're gonna repeat it many times, and why your service is better than others, right? Or something like that. Okay, so yeah, this thing is very fast to use. The next thing is keywordtool.io, and on this website, when you type a keyword here, so for example, we gonna type acne, and you need to choose the Google domain you want to search through. We choose google.com and we use the English. So when I click on the search, as you can see, we're gonna have lots of great ideas like acne scars, acne and a diet. That's a good one because you can make a website about a diet that is good for acne, right? Acne bacteria. Well, there is acne cure, where maybe you will not find a cure for every acne, but yeah, as you can see, we've got ideas here, and the problem about this website is that you don't have a search volume. So how many people are looking for it and how many competitors are there? You need to pay for it if you want to see more, and it costs right now $88 per month to get lots of good ideas. Well, you can use this one, but you need at least that search volume data. So this one is useful. Okay, and you also get 2 times more keywords. But well, I think the most important thing is the search volume. But you can get it for free from the Google keyword research engine. Maybe I will show it. I will show it in the future. Okay. Answer the public comment. This is the best, I think, website that I've ever found. I hope they will not disappear from the internet, or we will not have to pay for them. But even if we have to pay for them, I will do it because they are really great. You've got here a funny philosopher, an old man who is looking at you and telling you, come on, write here something and I will tell you the questions that I have thought about the thing that you type here, okay? You can choose the language here. That's also cool because you do not need to use English only. And let's type, for example, bicycle. And let's get questions about bicycle. Let's see what's gonna happen. As you can see, now we have got 197 ideas about questions. Are bicycle pedals reverse threaded? Great. Are bicycle cars plastic? How bicycle coaster brakes work? Why bicycle stays upright? There's so many ideas. When do bicycles helmets expire? Okay, this one is not good. But you know, there are many good ones, some bad ones. But hey, I think that it's hard to think about all these possible keywords on your own. Okay, I really love this website. Comparison, bicycle versus car. Okay, this as you can see, there are some not good one, right? But for some keywords, some things will be better than for others. So let's, for example, type here acne, and as you can see now, when you go to the data, and these one are good one, right? Are acne scars permanent? You can answer these questions on your website if you are dermatologist. That's really cool, and you can say, hey, maybe, I'm not sure, they are not permanent. The good thing that can help you with the scars is the cream like that, or like that, but you have to get a prescription for that one or something like that. I'm not sure if that's how it works, right? Because I'm not an expert in that, but how acne forms, really this thing, you can talk about it, how acne works, how acne is caused. Really, if you answer questions like that on your website, you will have tons of visitors that are gonna come to you and look for that answer, right? And when they find it and they feel that you have them, they gonna, for example, share your website, or maybe they will come to visit you as a dermatologist because they will want to know more. So this is very useful to find what things could people think about typing inside the search engine by looking at what a philosopher is thinking about. Okay, the next cool website is SOOV.com, and when you start typing here something, so for example acne, as you can see, whatever you type here, all these fields are automatically changing and according to what you type here. And as you can see, how does acne spread? Can urine cure acne? Okay, you can answer this question also. acne treatment, acne scar removal, right? Maybe you can remove the scars in your office, right? The next keyword research tool that is great is on the website seobook.com, and when you go here to this menu keyword tool, you will get to this website and you can type here a keyword. And the cool thing about this thing is that you will get the estimated amount of monthly searches, and you can sort it from the bottom or from the up. And as you can see, lots of people type acne, but of course it's not a good idea to try to rank for this keyword high, because when somebody type acne, he's like, I don't know what I'm doing right now. So let's get a custom. I think it's better to get a customer who type how to get rid of acne. But well, this thing is probably, lots of times written in the Google, so it's gonna be hard to rank up high for this, right? It's sometimes better to get like everybody from this place, and you will get almost the same amount like here. Then try to get here, because it's really hard to get here. There's lots of competition probably here. Okay, so when you do it like that, and you, for example, like do small bumps on face acne, so you are gonna make an article on how to get rid of acne. So you try to get high for this phrase, how to get rid of acne, in the same time, and you will focus in that article where it was, small bumps on face, right? You will focus on small bumps on face in this article. You will add, and you will get like maybe you will not get high on this keyword because this is hard, but you will get on that small bumps on face acne very easily, right? So it's good idea to focus on things that are here, in my opinion. Dermatologist acne treatments, right? How to get rid of acne and blackheads, how acne forms. That's a good, really, that's a good one. And well, lots of great ideas, right? And the cool thing is here is that when you find something, for example, acne scars, it's very popular, right? So when you add scars here, you'll notice that you will get everything that is connected to scars now, right? Acne scar treatment, how to remove acne scars, how to get rid of acne scars not naturally. So getting rid of acne scars, you see people are writing things differently, and you can home remedy for acne scars. You can use this fact and not to try make yourself high on this keyword, because it's almost impossible to get high for them. It's better to focus on this one again. That's the idea. And now when we are in the Google, we will go to and type here Google Keyword Planner. And when I click on this, as you can see, now we can start using the keyword planner that was created by Google. But the problem is that you have to have the account created in Google. If you don't, you have to create it now. But do not worry, it's nothing hard. I'll click Dale, which is next. And in a moment, we'll have a keyword planner opened. And here we have got the 3 options to search for the keywords. I think this is the first one is the best one. The others are, well, not so good. I prefer the first one. And here you can type, for example, T. And here you can type your landing page that you want to check with T, and your product category. So it's gonna give you better ideas regarding your keyword. And here you can choose where you want to target. Well, we do not want to target to Poland, but we want to target to United States right now. So let's choose the United States or United Kingdom also, right? Why not? And let's save. And now we can get the ideas about the T. And as you can see, T is very often typed in Google, but there are also other words that you can use. Teacup, best tea, oolong, organic tea, right? There is lots of ideas, and there is lots of pages here. But the cool thing here is also that they show you for free average monthly searches, okay? So it's also very cool. You can download these keywords, analyze them on your own. But I like this thing here a lot. It's called Add Group Ideas. And as you can see, here you have got grouped ideas regarding the keywords. For example, premium tea. Okay, let's see what premium tea. We click here. Keywords are regarding this group. And when I click here, as you can see, you have a premium tea leaves, premium black tea, premium tea company, herbal tea, premium green tea. Lots of, as you can see, connections between different keywords. So that's how Google AdWords Planner works. Well, you can of course pay here for for the advertisement, or you can try to rank up higher using the organic search engine optimization, like we are trying to achieve right now. This thing you should, these tools that I've showed, you should use to get ideas about keywords, right? In next lessons, I will teach you how to make your website rank higher for keywords that you find here and you want to position yourself up. Thank you very much. Hello everybody. Today we are going to talk about Google Trends. When something is on trend, it means it is fashionable. It means it is very popular. So we are right now on the website that is going to show us what is right now the most popular, or what was popular in the past. So we are on this website right now. As you can see, these are the most popular topics in the past 24 hours. And it means that, hey, maybe it's a good idea if you are a journalist to write about these things. If you have good articles about news, hey, this page is great for you because you're gonna find here very popular things. And the cool thing is that you can change, the place you want to see what is popular at. So if you are from Australia, you can change to Australia and you can see what was popular in the past 24 hours, the most popular, right? That's great. I really like this thing. When you want to go to the United Kingdom, you will see what was the most popular in the United Kingdom, and so on and so on. So let's go back to the United States. Like that, and let's see what is right now popular in the JavaScript world. So let's check if the Angular library is popular. As you can see, Angular library is a popular thing, but right now it is comparing itself to itself. Okay, Angular is compared to itself. So it was the most popular in 2007, April 1, and only in the past 12 months. Okay, let's change it to past 5 years. As you can see, it is more and more popular, right? But let's compare it to another library, like for example, Vue. And as you can see, Vue is more popular. It is a competition for Angular. And why I am talking about Angular Vue, you're like, hey, but this is a SEO course. Yes, but right now, imagine that you are a person that want to create a course about Angular or Vue, and you want to create that course on, not video course like I'm doing, but you want to create a website about it, right? So which one would you choose? Would you choose the Angular or Vue? Right now, I think both decisions might be good because Angular is more and more popular and Vue is very popular. There is one more, React. Let's check React, how it's compared. Okay. So as you can see, you can check what is popular in the world, right? You can check JavaScript. As you can see, JavaScript is massively more popular. You can check Python. This is not connected to these things, but as you can see, you can check what is popular comparing to other things, and you can decide on that what exactly you would like to talk about on your website. Okay, this is just an example. I'm right now talking here about programming languages, but you could type here, for example, the type of bicycle or maybe gaming laptops, and you see which one are more popular. That's all up to you. The cool thing is that you can check these keywords against worldwide, against other single country. You can check it from the from the time they started checking things from 2004 to now. You can check categories, in how in each category this thing is popular. So this is very cool, right? You can check how in an image search something was looked for. You can take ideas from this place, and it's just all up to you how you're gonna use these ideas. Okay, that's all in the lesson. Thank you very much. Hello, hello! Welcome everybody! Today we are going to talk about the Longtail SEO. Longtail SEO is a technique of targeting highly specific niche search terms that are called longtail keywords that usually consist of 3 words and are much easier to rank for. Okay? When we go to the image section of the Google, we'll see lots of diagrams that are describing what is a longtail SEO. I will use this one and I will tell you now how and why you should use Longtail SEO technique. Well, the first thing you need to notice when you are looking at this diagram is that when you go up here, the cost and competition is rising, okay? It means that if you want to rank for example, shoes, which is only one word phrase, it is not a good idea because it's gonna cost you a lot of money, or if you are, optimizing the website on your own, it will cost you lots of time, right? So this is not a good idea. Only you should rank for shoes, or maybe not the shoes, but for one word phrase when you're running a company and your company name is one word. Okay, so for company name, okay, it's a good idea, but for other things, it's not a good idea because, well, tell me, if somebody types shoes in the Google, is he looking for a specific shoes, the one that you have, for example, on your website? Maybe you are having on your website only running shoes, or maybe you have got some shoes that are good for suits, right? So it really depends on what you have on your website. It's not a good idea to have somebody who doesn't know what he's looking for, because he is not going to convert. As you can see, here we have got an information, low probability of conversion. The higher here, the closer to this place, well, so for one word phrase, there is very low probability of conversion, which means that this guy who used one word phrase is not gonna be your customer, the subscriber, or the visitor of your blog that will come to your blog often or something like that. It's not a good idea, okay? It's good idea to use at least 2-3 word phrases. You can see shoes, men's shoes, okay? This guy knows that he's looking for shoes for men, right? So, okay, the probability of conversion is now increasing, and the cost and risk of not getting the customer is also, the cost is decreasing and the risk is decreasing too, right? So, look at this one, red Nike men's running shoes. Oh, this guy knows what he's doing. He's looking for the red shoes, and he's looking for the specific mark for the Nike shoes, and they must be running shoes, and they must be for men. Oh, this guy knows what he's looking for. We must get him to our website, okay? This is a good place to start from, and that's why I really like the website, the philosopher website that we were talking about in the last lecture, because when you type there's some kind of word, you will get a big phrase of that consists of many words in one place, right? So we are targeting this long tail, okay? This green thing here is called long tail because this is the place that you should focus on. And what is cool is that you have got up to 3 times more chance that somebody will convert from here. And the truth is that it is 70% of the traffic in the internet is here, okay? Well, we can go here, and as you can see, 70% of all search traffic is on the long tail, okay? So it's not a good idea to focus on these things. It's a good idea to focus here because you will get lots of more customers by targeting these keywords, okay? Hello, my friend. Before we start improving the content of your website, you have to know one very important thing. You cannot be greedy when you are looking for the keywords for your website. Why? Because, well, look at this from the point of view of the visitors. When they come to the website, they would like to see exactly the thing they were looking for. So if you try to rank for every possible keyword on only one single website, it's not gonna be good for them. So it means that it's also not gonna be for your site as from the SEO perspective. Okay? So you have to remember that you can rank for maximum 3, maybe 4 phrases per site, which means that when you have the main site index.html, you need to make the sub sites, okay? Here we have the NetBeans. You can use any other editor. You can download it on the internet. NetBeans download and you can download it. You can use the Notepad. You can use whatever you want. This is just an SEO course. We are using this one. Okay, that's all. And now, as you can see, you have got here a structure, index.html. So this site is about acne. So if you want to, talk about acne more, then you should create a new folder, and you should, for example, call it how avoiding acne, or something like that. And here you can create a new file and, for example, say something like 7 ways to avoid acne before mid-age, or something like that, right? And here you are going to talk about 7 ways of how to avoid acne before mid-age. So every time you want to talk about something different, okay, well, I know that acne is about ways. It's probably when you are on acne side, you are going to talk about ways of avoiding acne before mid-age, but there are so many topics that people could think when they are thinking about acne. When you go to the answer the public and we type the acne here, and we go to the data, how acne heals, how acne looks like, are acne scars, can the acne scars be removed, right? So you could create, when we are here, we can instantly see what catalogs we should create. We can create, for example, acne scars, and then we can create everything about the scars regarding the acne, right? How to make them less visible. What are the natural possibilities? Maybe maybe you can't do it naturally, so you have to tell about how to remove them. So you see, every possible topic should have the sub side, okay? You shouldn't try to rank for more than 3 phrases per one site, okay? So remember, your main page, you should probably think about ranking for the main keyword plus or the name of your name and surname, or for example the name of your company plus for what your company is doing or something like that. But you shouldn't focus on the main site to rank for many keywords at once, okay? It's very important to know that when you are improving your website, the content, that's why I'm talking about it now, so you do not improve your content for everything at once, okay? You should focus on improving each site by thinking what exactly the person who is gonna visit this site was looking for, okay? So he's coming to your site and he should instantly see the things that he was looking for. That's only the lesson. Thank you very much. Hello everybody, today we are going to talk about the most important tag in ranking up high in Google, and this tag is called title. Why is it so important, the title of your website? Because when somebody types something in Google, this is the first thing that is gonna be shown up here. So this thing must be attractive to the person who is gonna click on your website, okay? So it's also important from the Google perspective, because when somebody looks here, he will look for the keywords that he was looking for. So yeah, the keywords that you want to rank for in Google must be present here, okay? They must be, they have to exist here. So if you are making a website about acne, acne must be here. And what is more, it's best if the acne word was at the first place. So to the keyword should be to the left side. The more to the left side it is, it's better for you. So you shouldn't do something like, for example, if you want to rank for acne, like something, and then acne, okay? This keyword that is at the end is has the least factor, okay? So remember, the first keyword is the most important one. And you shouldn't put here too many keywords, okay? You shouldn't do something like, for example, bicycles. Let's say, for example, commute bicycles. What other types of bicycles do you have? But you know, you get the idea. You shouldn't use here commas, okay? You shouldn't spam the keywords here, okay? This is not the place to spam the keywords. This place should be attractive. Google will not have hard time in spotting that you are spamming keywords here, that you are not a good person, okay? You are not good for other people. You're not making a website for other people. You are spamming keywords here. He will be like, no, you cannot spam keywords. I don't like you, and he will ban you, okay? So remember about the title. It's very important, and you shouldn't spam here keywords, and you should have the keyword that represents the website, okay? So what does it mean? If you use, for example, acne, and then you, for example, say everything about curing acne, you have to say something about curing acne and about acne on your website. Otherwise, Google will think that you are trying to cheat here, okay? So you must have always the content that represents the title. And now notice that I use 2 times keyword acne, and it gives us a big boost. But in the same time, I am not spamming keywords. Look, I am not using commas one after another. This looks pretty legit, doesn't it? Acne, everything about curing acne. What's more, we have got here curing word. Cure acne, okay? This is also a keyword, right? Because somebody could type cure acne, how to cure acne, right? And maybe he will somehow get to our website because of that. And what's more, this title is attractive now. Why? Because, well, when somebody is here and he sees something like that, acne, everything about acne. Okay, so I will find everything about acne here, and he will click on this link. So this is a big bonus, okay, when you are doing something like that. Look, you could type only acne, and this keyword would be probably maybe more attractive to Google now, because when the less keywords you use, the more factor you give to other keywords that were used, that were left. But it wouldn't be attractive. Look, when you type Udemy, you see something like Udemy, online courses, learn anything on your schedule. You can do it anytime, right? This is attractive keyword. Well, maybe on your schedule is not a keyword that somebody would look for, but maybe anything is not looking for is a keyword, but this is attractive, okay? So this thing must be good from two sides, right? From the side of your customer and from the side of ranking up for high in Google, okay? So what you should avoid doing here also, you shouldn't use here more than 7 words, okay? 7 words, and that's all, okay? You do not overdo it, maybe 8. Try not to make too many words, because they will not be even visible here. So there is no use in them, and you are making all the other keywords less important. Okay, so the next thing that you need to know is that the title must be unique. What does it mean? It means that if you are selling, for example, bicycles in London or something like that, or maybe bicycle shop in London or in Chicago, whatever. Well, this is a good title, right? Because we are trying to rank for bicycle shop and in London. So if somebody is in London, he will probably type something like that. But well, if you type the same title for every subsite you have on your, website, on your entire website, it will not be good. Remember that each site is unique and you should be precise, okay? This is, if you did something like that, it will not be interpreted very good by Google. You should type rather something, for example, like that. The brand of the company that the bicycle was produced by, okay? Maybe you could type the serial number and maybe the or serial name, because some brands use the names for each bicycle. The name is different, right? And maybe the type of the bicycle and maybe the size of the, for example, tire, right? Something like that. This is a precise title, and somebody who is looking for something like that and he types something like that in Google, when he's precise, he will probably, mostly, that guy will buy that bicycle, okay? So remember, every title must be unique, okay? You should also avoid naming your website like, for example, homepage or, for example, my blog, okay? Because I think you have never typed something like that in Google. Have you ever typed my blog or, I don't know, homepage? Well, I'm sure you haven't done something like that. So this is not a good idea to use as a title something like that, okay? It's better to use any keyword that would represent, that is representing your website, okay? So that's all about title. Remember, this is the most important place because it is the first thing that the person who is gonna click on your website looks at, and you cannot do here whatever you want, right? You can do dirty stuff here, and Google knows it, and because he knows about it, he will take lots of factor into that title when he's trying to position, to index your website in the big index of websites. Okay, that's only the lesson. Thank you very much. Hello everybody, today we are going to talk about the meta tag description. But before we go into this topic deeper, I would like to tell you what are meta tags. Well, a meta tag is an additional information for web browsers or for the robots that's gonna search your web page, okay, that are gonna index your web page. So when they go into your website, they will try to find first what cursor is being set. As you can see, this UTF-8, and then it will look for additional information, like for example this one, description. As the name suggests, it's gonna give information about what is the content of your website, a short description of it, right? And what is fun is that Google doesn't take into account the description when they are ranking your web page. But please do not stop that lecture. It is one of the most important tag in my opinion, and it, in my opinion, might help rank your Google rank your website higher, and I will tell you soon why. Well, the first thing is that when you type anything in Google, right? For example, bike shop United Kingdom, so something like that, you will notice that here I type bike shop and bike shop is bolded, UK is bolded, right? So we tend to look at the things that are bolded, and we tend to click on the links that have something bolded, like for example text like that, right? It helps to bring attention of people that are searching using Google, right? And the cool thing is that when somebody clicks lots of time on your link, it improves your ranking a bit, but well, it's always one factor that you should think about, right? So it's gonna help you a bit. So it's good idea to make this description desirable. So when somebody look at this, he's like, whoa, I must click on it, right? Okay, so let's go to here and notice that if we wanted to make the page about acne, about treating acne, about curing acne, we'll, for example, title it like that, and then we could make a description like that. Do you have an acne and you don't know how to treat it? On acne-cure.net, you will find out everything about acne treatment. As you can see, this thing is pretty good, right? It's like an advertisement. And in the same time, I use here a few times a keyword like acne, like treatment, well, like cure. And these things can be bolded, well, will be bolded when somebody looks for the website about acne. On this website here, you can preview how your site will look like. So for example, in the, of course, Google search engine results, right? So when we copy all the things, all these things, and well, let's assume that we have a domain name like that. And here we have a preview of how our result would look like. If somebody typed, well, proper keywords that will open our website. Here we can use the option bold words, and when we type here, for example, acne, and then for example, not words, but cure, and we refresh, as you can see, it bolded acne, it bolded acne cure, and it bolded acne here, right? It's so cool. And here and here. And when you look at something like that, you instantly see that, hey, this website is about the thing that I was looking for, about curing acne, right? Maybe Google will even bold the curing, because it can easily identify if this word, the curing, is similar to cure. So as you can see, if you have a good description, it's gonna be attractive and somebody will click on it more often, and because of that you will improve your ranking. So yeah, it's good idea to make a good description. And there is a few things that you need to remember when you are creating description. Well, the first thing is that you shouldn't have more than 155 characters. Look, we can add here exclamation mark, but if you add 3 more, as you can see, well, we've just lost treatment as the keyword, and well, it doesn't look good, right? That 3 dots is not looking good. So this is the maximum, and you shouldn't exceed this amount, okay? The next thing you should remember about is that description should be unique. The same goes to title, right? You shouldn't have the same description for each page because it doesn't look good. Google will think that you are a spammy website, okay? So it should be unique. If you don't have time to create the description, well, you don't need to do it. Google will then use the words that are present on your website and will try to show something useful for the person who was looking for the website, like, right? But most time it won't be as good as the one that you will create, okay? Sometimes you might want to delete description from here. The only situation when you want to do it, in my opinion, is when you have an enormous, big, large article, okay? You have got there lots of phrases, and well, then Google might, connect them somehow that way that it will make this result in the Google search engine results more attractive, okay? But otherwise, it's good idea to make a description for each page on your own. So remember, attractive description is the way to go. Do not spam keywords. Look, for example here, do you have an acne? This is a keyword, and you don't know how to treat acne. I could do something like that. It's great to do something like that, right? We have another keyword here that will be bolded, but it doesn't sound so good, right? When you do something like, do you have an acne and you don't know how to treat acne? That's just not right. It doesn't feel good. And if something doesn't feel good, do not do it, okay? Because it doesn't help the reader. And well, Google might feel that you are overdoing it, right? You have got too many times acne in your description. 1, 2, 3, 4 times? You are a bad boy. You know what I mean right now, right? You might get penalized for things like that. So, be thoughtful, be a person who knows what you are doing. Remember, the most important factor in making your website run high in Google is to make your users happy. That's only the lesson. Thank you very much. Hello, today we are going to talk about MetaTag technically called keywords. And as the name suggests, in the content of this MetaTag, we can specify keywords or bigger phrases of keywords that we want to rank for in the search engine results. Okay, so for example, acne, comma, acne treatment, comma, acne curing, or maybe curing acne, right? Well, the truth is that this meta tag is no longer being looked at by Google. So you do not need to worry about it. You can just delete it. Why did I tell about this meta tag? Why I'm losing your precious time? Because you need to know in future that when you find a website that tells you that you should put here something like every time on every web page keywords, you are just losing your precious time, okay? It's not worth your time. I think the only reason why you would want to use this meta tag now is to inform yourself of what you are going to rank for the site you are working on. So this is just information for you, right? Because you might have, for example, 50 websites, and it will be hard for you to remember what each subsite you want to rank for, okay? So this is a good idea to specify 1, 2, 3 phrases. That's all. Do not overdo it, because, well, if you overdo it, okay, then this meta tag might not be good for you, because Google might penalize it. He might look like, hey, so this guy wants to rank for these keywords and he is stuffing them, he's putting lots of them here. He must be using some kind of bad ways of ranking in Google, right? So we must penalize him, right? Okay, so do not lose your precious time on this. That's only a lesson. Thank you very much. Hello everybody. Today we are going to talk about one of the most important factors that will make sure that you're gonna high rank in Google, and that is the content of your website. How to create the content of your website so you're gonna high rank in Google. Well, I have just written an article about the meta tags. As you can see, I have created a description, keywords, as in the last lectures we are creating for the meta tags. And well, this thing is important. Like I said, I have used the meta tags here, and then I use the robots option because I will try to position it on the robots also options, maybe on meta tags. And as you can see, options for robots, right? I am using the keywords at the start and meta tags also at start, but well, I want mostly to rank for this. Decide if you want to index is also a keyword, or not to index again your page by using meta tags. So I use many times the keywords here and here, and well, they do not look like they are spam, so it's great. Okay, now let's go back to the content. See, when you are creating a content, you have to use the semantic tags. which are, for example, H1 to H6. This stands for header 1, header 2, and so on, okay? And these things makes the text on your website bigger and it bolds it, okay? So, for example, when I refresh here, as you can see, here is options for robots in MetaTags, and I use it here. H1 is one of the semantic tags, and it gives additional information. Semantic means that it has additional information. It's not only used to divide your website or change the color, make something bold, or make something bigger or something like that. It has got the meaning, additional meaning for robots. And this thing means that this is the header of your website. And notice that when you are looking at the pages of, for example, newspaper, the headers are big, right? They are very important. They take the attention of your eyes, right? So yes, this take also attention of the robot, okay? When he looks at it, wow, it's important. Options for robots in MetaTags. Okay, this article is gonna be about options for robots in MetaTags. I'm gonna think that this is the thing that this guy is trying to rank for. Well, maybe he's not trying to rank for, but he's talking about that thing, right? Okay, so options for robots in MetaTags. I used keywords here, and the rules of, creating the headers is the same as for the title, okay? So you should try to have the keywords that you want to rank for to the left side, okay? This is where you should put them. Okay, so this is a header, and you can have more than header 1, header 2, header 3. What's the difference? Well, header 1 is the most important one, okay? And it's on the top. And header 3 is less important, but it still counts, so do not worry. And what's more, your website looks better for the Google because it's like you are thinking about the user of your website. Look, when you're looking at this website, you can divide it into the sections. You can see easily that here is the top, and now you know what's that article about. And then what are meta tags? Okay, so here I will learn what are meta tags, what sites you should exclude from the index. Also, here I will learn about it. And then again, if your article was longer, you could divide your article into sections. That's really helpful, right? And when you help your users, it means for Google you are a good guy, and and you should be taken up in the ranking, okay? The next thing is navigation. Navigation is the tag that comes from HTML5, and it just suggests that here is the navigation of your website. In the comment, I did something like that, navigation, and inside it you have got a simple navigation, home, blog, forum, and contact, right? And it suggests Google, hey, there are going to be links to my site, okay? And it gives the Google idea how your site is constructed. He will know that here are links, here is an article. As you can see, there is an article tag, and it suggests, hey, here is an article. You can read about this article here, exactly here. Okay, so Google knows that here's article, and for example, comments are in other place, right? Because you can have under the article comments to your article, and well, Google might have problem normally to see, hey, are these comments the article or not? Because he doesn't know exactly if they are comments or not, right? You can exactly tell him, hey, this is an article. Oh, and here you have got a site, and a site is a tag that is used to, as you can see, for example, put things that are on site of your website. They are not so much connected to your website, so you do not want to rank for it. So for example, here you have got the email the user can put. So for example, he can log in here, or he can, for example, sign up for the newsletter here. Or you could also put the site tag for the comment section, right? So it's very, 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 very useful because you can exactly tell what is not so important on your site. The next thing is section. As I said earlier about section, notice that we divided the article into the sections, right? Section 1, section 2. And as you can see, I did something like that here, section and section 2. Look, I can delete this, right? And nothing will change because I didn't use any style in the CSS for these sections. Because sections are not supposed to be used for division of your website, right? for changing the way, the behavior, how your website is working. So section is only here to tell Google, look, I have got one section, two section of that article. This is great for the user, right? He can know where this section starts. I am a good guy. Take me up, take me up. Okay, so this is a semantic tag, and division is not a semantic tag. I just put it here so you see the difference, right? Div versus section. Div is a division. It's used only to change the behavior of some things inside your website, right? The next thing is header and footer. Header is, and you might be like, hey, but here is H1 to H6. Why again header? Because header is something that can be bigger. Look, you can have more content inside header. You can have header 1, and then, for example, paragraph talking about this header 1. You can also have here header 3, something like subtitle, right? And well, this is helpful, right? Because you can make a bigger header of your article, and you exactly tell the Google, hey, here is the header of this article. The content is here in the section 1 or in the section 2, depending on what somebody type in Google. You can show this thing in the description of my website or this, because you need to know that Google can change this description, right? He can be like, okay, this is useful. I can show it to the person, but if somebody type something exactly from here, right? Okay, so I will show this paragraph there. Okay, that's a really useful information, I think. And the next thing you need to know is strong, which makes your text bold. As you can see here, you have a bolded text here also, and here also, right? And it gives more importance to the words that were there, right? For example, meta tags set, okay? There is also something like emphasis and mark. And mark is highlighting, the emphasis is changing the text to be shown as an italic. So it's like that, right? And emphasis is here. And it also gives a bigger importance to these words. So it's a good idea to use it on the keywords that you want to rank for, or try to not overdo it, right? So do not overdo it by mistake, because it might hit you. But yeah, you can easily use it to make show what is important on your website. Google might take into consideration. Most people say they do not. I think there is a very, very small factor in that, but yeah, there might be a small factor, so why not? The next thing is abbreviation. As you can see when we go here we can say exactly what SEO means. Search engine optimization, and we'll go here. As you can see, we have got something like that, search engine optimization, and it's helpful for the user. And if something is helpful for the user, then you are a good guy, right? As ideally, when you are a good guy, you are helping your user, you are making your website looking good for the user. Google will rank you up, okay? You should also know that your content should be unique. What does it mean? Well, if you are selling, for example, product in your shop and you take description from somebody else, for example, from the producer, it means that you do not have unique content and you might be not getting any benefits, okay? Because, well, this is not unique text. It's not text created by you. There are many like that in the internet. So it's a good idea to, unfortunately, write for every product your own text. Yes, I know it's lots of work, but hey, this is gonna help you, tons of, this cannot be described how much it will help you. Unique text is very important. Content is important. And notice that your content must be consistent. What does it mean? Well, you cannot, put meta tags in one paragraph. But you should be like, hey, here is meta tag. Here is one. Here's second one, here, here, and at the end. So it must be, inside your text, but not everywhere. And it must be, mentioned, the phrase you want to rank for in many places of your article, right? Not at the start only, not in the middle only, not only at the end of your article, but it would be great if it was at least once mentioned at the start, in the middle, and at the end, okay? But of course, do not overdo it, because if you overdo it, you might be hit by Google and you'll be banned. Or at least one of your sub-site will be banned. So be careful, do not overdo things like that, like spamming the keywords. I apologize, I have forgotten to talk about footer. When you go to the bottom of that website, I have got a footer. And inside the footer, you just, put the information, who created the website, when somebody created it, some copyright information, so things that are not so important, right? But well, they are the footer of your website. You can also put in footer other things, like for example, a site tag that, as I said earlier, can send somebody to the email form. Okay, that's all your lesson. Thank you very much. Hello everybody, I've already said it lots of times, but I will tell you it again, because it's really important if you want to rank up high in Google. When you are creating content, you are creating it having in mind the user that is gonna look at your web page. And you might be like, okay, but why are we talking about it now? Because we want to talk about images in this lecture. As this one. Well, adding images makes your content look better. When somebody look on image, you can instantly see what you are meaning. For example, what are meta tags? Oh, these are this one. Okay, so I know I don't need to even read that. Okay, this is that thing. Well, text without images is just boring. Okay. And Google knows it. Google knows that when you add images, your text is better. That's why on every sub-site, you have to have at least one image, okay? At least one. It's a good idea to have even 2, 3. It depends on how long it is, right? But have at least one, okay? That's the first thing. You need to have at least one image. But the second thing is that how you call that image. Well, look. Here I used some keywords. Here is a MetaTag phrase. Okay, so it's I'm trying to position myself for MetaTag robots options, so it's gonna help me. And also for how does MetaTags looks like. Okay, somebody can type something like that, so why not? I can use this place. It's very important that when you name your image files, that you do not do something like that. Or something like that. Okay, I know that we are lazy, and most time when we do not have time, we will just call things like that. Or for example, meta, that would be enough. But please, when you want to position yourself in Google high, you should have self-descriptive names, okay? That's very important. Like that. And what's more, after each word, so after how, after does, after meta, and so on, you should add dash, okay? It's important also. So after each word, you add something like that, because it means that this is another word. If you did it like that, well, Google would have hard time to say if that's next word or not, okay? It would take some time for him to see something like that. So it's a good idea to add dashes like that. And the next thing is the alternative message from that alt attribute here. Well, this thing you can also add here what is on your image. Okay, you can describe here what's on the image, and this thing is gonna be shown when somebody make an error, for example, like that, or there is some kind of problem with the internet, or somebody can't see the image, so he will at least see a text. So you help people if they encounter some kind of problem, right? So yeah, if you are a good guy, it means that it's gonna help you also rank. So you can use here some keywords, but of course it's not like something like that. You can don't do something like that, right? And if you have, for example, 4 images, try not to overdo it. Do not put in every image meta tags, for example. Try to mix things up. And then you have got an attribute that is called title. Title is this thing. When I hover my mouse over this, as you can see, we can see the description. How does meta tags looks like? And this is this title. And I think that you should always put the same thing here as you put here. Why? Because this alternative message from here is hidden from people, right? From normal people. Okay, we are not normal because we can look into the source, right? But most people do not know about the source code and they do not see it. But they can see the title, right? Because they can move the mouse over here and they can see it. So it means that if you are not embarrassed by what is here, right, in the title, and it's the same like in the alternative message, it means that you are sure about this content, right? About the thing that is in the alternative message. And I think it gives a small bonus. Okay, the next thing is the width and height. I think that you should always put the width and height of the image. I know that you might be like, now, but it takes so much time to put width and height. Why would I want to do it for every image? Really? Yes, because your website will load a bit faster if you put the width and height here, okay? Web browsers, when they know the width and height, they don't need to count it. They don't need to take it from special place. They just know exactly what width and what height that image has, and your website will load a bit faster. And what's cool is that when your website is loading faster, you make your users happy. And of course, if you make your users happy, it also is making you rank higher in Google, right? So it's important to do something like that. Okay, so to sum up, think about how you name your file. You should put here keywords, right? But remember to not always use dashes after each word. The next thing is alternative message. It should describe the thing that is on your image, okay? You should also put here keyword if you can. If you have more than 2, for example, images, do not overdo it. Do not spam your keywords, because it's easy to notice that you are doing something to fool Google robots, right? Okay, that's only the lesson. Thank you. Hello, today I will tell you how to name your folders and files in order to achieve as many benefits as you can in ranking in Google. Well, the first thing is what you should avoid doing. Look, here we have got the index.html, and of course the main site should be called like that, right? But we have got here an article about meta tags, robots options. I'm sure that an article like that shouldn't be on the main website, right? So we should call it somehow, but we shouldn't call it like that. We shouldn't call it like that. We shouldn't call it like that, okay? Avoid things like that. I know that we are lazy most time when we put things on our desktop, for example, and we name them like that just for a second. And of course, it's for a bit longer normally. But, well, try to avoid things like that when you are naming files for your website, because it's not helpful for anyone, right? When you send a file like that to the URL, the link to another person with something like that, it's unprofessional, right? And it's also not helpful for anyone. It's also very hard to type for somebody. No. So many no's. Try to name your files, your folders as self-descriptive as you can, which means that you should, for example, call that file like that: meta tags, robots, options. And of course, it's pretty okay now, but we can upgrade it a bit more. Look, we could, for example, create a new folder And we could, for example, call it MetaTags and then put this file here and just call it robots options. Why? Because now we categorize meta tags, right? We have got more than one meta tag that we can describe. We can talk about robot options. We can talk about keywords, about description. So we could create here a new HTML file for the article about keywords, right? It is now looking better, right? We now do not repeat things like that. Meta tags, keyword, blah, 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 blah. It's just too much, okay? And now it's helpful for the robots and also helpful for your users, right? Okay. And the thing you need to also remember is that when you are creating names for files or folders, is that you should use to separate words dash, okay? This sign here. You shouldn't use underscore, you should use dash. And also you shouldn't connect them, okay? So try not to connect your words like that, robots options, because it's not helping you at all, because Google might have problems spotting if you wanted to separate these words or not, okay? If it's one word, maybe he's not sure exactly, right? Maybe he can guess, but not every time, and it's gonna hurt you. So remember that every time if you have more than one word, each word should be separated by the dash, okay? Robots dash options. Do not use underscore because underscore is reserved for the variables, for the name of functions, for the programmers. Okay, if you don't know what I have just said, you don't need to know it because you are not gonna create the website about the programming, right? But well, if you are a programmer, then you should, for example, call MySQL fetch array. For example, you could call your subsite like that because you're gonna talk about the function MySQL fetch array. Yes, that's a good idea then, okay? But otherwise, do not use underscores. Use the dash to separate words. And remember that the rules for the ranking up are the same like for the title when you are putting the words, the keywords here, okay? So you should remember that the keyword to the left is the most important one, that if you put here many keywords, right, like that, it's gonna make the other keywords less important. Okay, let's now exercise a bit. Let's, for example, assume that we have got a website about acne. We could create a folder, acne types or acne type, and then we could create a new HTML5 and for example, rosacea and so on, right? So you can see the picture now when you see something like that, right? You can see that it's looking better for you and for others. For example, when you have got a website about the bicycles, you could create, for example, a folder name, mountain bikes. And then inside the mountain bikes, you could create an HTML5 that would, talk about the specific mountain bike type. You could, for example, here you could type the serial number. Then after the dash, you could, create the insert here the specific name of your mountain bike. I don't know how they are called. You see, that's the problem. Every time when you want to make a website about something, you should go and look how things should be called, right? And how to do it. Well, the easiest way is to type in Google, for example, mountain bikes, and then as you can see, for example, we have got the cross, right? Okay, so we could, for example, when we are creating a mountain bike, we could do something like cross dash, and let's, for example, go here to the sport. What can we talk about MTB XC, MTB XC. You know, it's up to you what you should type here, but you should type here, as you can see, things that are gonna be helpful. And here is an error on this website. Look, as I said earlier, to the left side, everything is more important, and the same goes to the catalogs, to the folder. Look, here you have got English first, then 2018. What is more important to you, right? The English is not helping anybody here, right? I would remove it at all. Unfortunately, they don't know how to do it probably, but it's not helping them because it's not a keyword. 2018, okay, it might help you, but I think it should be at the end, right? And well, the more folders you have got here, also you make it hard to rank high in Google. Okay, it's harder to rank when you do something like that. You should focus on having maybe 2, maximum 3 folders. Okay, 4 might be okay, but I don't think it's gonna help anyone. I would delete the English here from here, and 2018, I think it should be at the end if you want to even put it here. Okay, the most important thing is the things that people are looking for. So I think people that are looking for probably for these bugs are gonna type this thing here and this thing here. Okay, and well, maybe they will type the year because they want to have something new. Okay, then this might be important. I think I'll put it at the end. It really you should really think what is the most important when somebody is looking for. Okay, so cross MTB XC, for example, and finish. Well, you could, if you have lots of cross bugs, you could create another folder and, for example, type something like cross here and then put this here and then remove the cross from here, right? Okay, that's how it should be done. Okay, that's on this lesson. Thank you very much. Hello everybody, today we are going to talk how many times you should put the keyword you want to rank for on your web page. So we're gonna talk about density of keywords, okay? So in order to check the density of keywords, you can type keyword density checker SEO, and probably you're gonna find a free tool. Let's go and check, for example, as you can see, SEO Central, so this link, and for example, webcons, which is this link. They are free tools. You can just paste here the name of URL, the name of your website link, and you just need to copy it, paste it here, and then click the submit button. As you can see, we have got now here a tag cloud. Tag cloud informs you by enlarging, by making larger text, the keywords that are presented on your website the most often. Okay, so follow links, meta tags, meta name robots. As you can see, these are keywords that we wanted to rank for this website, right? We wanted to rank for options for robots and meta tags. There are also some things that are big that are not exactly connected to what we wanted to rank for, like for example follow links, but you shouldn't worry, because you know it looks better if you have got other keywords on your website. Your website looks genuine. Okay, it doesn't look artificially, so it's good for you when you have got other keywords big too. Okay, the next thing is to look at the top keywords. As you can see, meta tags are the most important one. It's okay, they are presented in title, in description, and in the header. So here, right? Okay, that's great. And we also wanted to position for meta name robots. As you can see, they also exist. They do not exist one after another in title, description, and header, but they exist here. Okay, well, the tools like that are not perfect. They are not as good as the one that the Google uses. But it's just you can just have a first glance on how your website is interpreted a bit by computer, right? You can see the percentage of how many times the keyword is presented, if you haven't overdone it by mistake or something like that, right? As you can see, the frequency for robots and meta is pretty high. It's about 4%, and it is in the title, in the description. When you go below, you can see how many times phrases with 2 words are presented. Then you can check how many times with 3 words, and so and that's all. Well, let's go to another analyzer. And when I click submit, as you can see, it works the same, keyword cloud. And here we can see how many times some of the keywords were presented, right? Meta tags, robots, options. Well, that's the most important for us, and it's and as you can see, it's big. Page, follow, index, name, robots, index, links. They are not exactly the keywords that we are trying to rank for, but they are connected to it, so it makes your site genuine, right? So you should have about 1 to 10% of density of the keywords that you want to rank for. Of course, it's even possible to rank in Google even if you haven't used the keyword once, but you will need to have thousands of people linked to you using this keyword with the content of that keyword. The most important thing you need to remember is that if you have got a very short text and you have got the keyword density high, then it's not so bad, right? But if you have got a very, very long text, like, I don't know, 5,000 words, then if your keyword density for that word is 10%, you overdid it, okay? It should be about, for I think, 2%, maybe even 1%. Don't overdo it. If something looks artificially, Google will think you are just trying to fake something, and you will get banned, okay? Or fixed. Well, your sub-site will be fixed, which means that only this site will be banned from the Google index for just the keyword that you are trying to rank for. So you're gonna lose everything. So don't overdo it. From 1 to 10%, it should be pretty okay, but it really depends on how long is your text and how artificially it looks for you, right? When you are reading something and you feel like, why this guy is repeating this keyword each time, this looks bad for me, then you overdid it, right? But otherwise, why not? When you have got the keyword that appears in your content at the start, in the middle of your text, at the end of your text, and sometimes using the synonyms or in the context of other keywords that are connected to the keyword you want to position, to rank for, then everything is okay. That's all in that lesson. Thank you very much. Hello everybody, today we are going to talk about inner linking on our website. So we're gonna talk about how to name links, how to properly create links that will refer to other parts of our site. But before we do it, I would like to tell you how exactly robots of the Google works when they are on your site. Well, you need to remember that they are analyzing each thing on your website. So it's analyzing text and it's analyzing links. And in order to get to other parts of your website, he needs to click like you do on another link. So if there is no connection, if there is no link to another part of your website, he will never be able to reach this place. And because of that, the farther the links are, so if you have got many categories, you have got many folders, the harder it will be for him to get them, right? Okay. And now the next thing is that when you are linking to other part of your website, you are giving something like power to the other side. If, for example, you have got the main site very high in Google and you link to other parts of your website, then you are giving this power to other parts of your website, okay? And the same goes from your subsites. You can give the power that they got to the main site, okay? So it's like the flow, like the river, okay? You can give the water from one place to another, okay? You have got it limited. Okay, of course, you can increase this amount by, getting more popular. Okay, so how to name your links? Well, as you can see, here is something like what are video courses? As you can see, I didn't name this link click here, in which you will find out what are video courses. In order to see this, click this. I didn't do something like that, right? This text ends here, in which you will find out what are video courses. This is a pretty common sentence that somebody could type, right? What are video courses? So you should name your links so they are self-descriptive, okay? In order to create a link like that, you need to use anchor tag, A, and the attribute href. In here, you type the site you want to link to. Of course, this should be also self-descriptive. You should use the keywords here. And then you should type a visible text to your user. And it should be about 1, 2, 3 words, okay? And remember, avoid using things like click here, okay? Because it's not helping you. Of course, if you use it once, nothing bad will happen because you will look more genuine, right? When you make errors like that, the Googlebot will think, oh, this guy is pretty normal. I think he's not trying to fool me, right? So if you do something like that once in a while, nothing wrong will happen. But hey, things like that is gonna help you in SEO, okay? So remember about naming your names properly. As I said earlier, you are giving the power from one side to another side, because you are giving, like for example here, to many sub-site power. It would be great if this power would come back to the main site, okay? And that's why it's a good idea to always have a logo like that, a banner. So it links always from any subsite you go to the main site, okay? When you click on it, we're again on main site. The next thing you should remember is that you should always link to pages that are similar to yours. So you shouldn't link to, for example, a page about horses when you have got a page about, for example, birds, okay? You should always have thematically similar pages connected to each other, okay? Google, what's cool, likes when you are recommending good articles from your site. So, because you are making the user who is on your website happy, right? When the user is happy, Google is happy because that user is gonna be using his services even often, right? So it's a good idea to link to other people, but they have to be connected to you thematically, these websites. And well, sometimes it might be hard, right? Because it can be your competition, so maybe then it's not a good idea. But it's helpful if you link, for example, to some kind of article that will, for example, to Wikipedia, that will support your article or the things that you have just said on your website, right? So you can be helpful to others. But sometimes you're gonna link to other people, like, for example, you're gonna link to the advertisement you have got on your web page, and you do not want to give the power to advertisement, right? Then you should do something like that. You should add here an attribute called rel from relation between that link you are creating and your page, and type here no follow. It will mean for a robot, when he sees something like that, oh, I shouldn't follow this guy. Okay, so I'm not gonna follow it. And that's why you're not gonna give the power to that website, okay? And you should also do something like that when you have got a comment section on your website. You don't know exactly what somebody will put there, right? It can be links to the websites that you do not want to give the power from your article that you really worked hard to produce, right? So you should always use relation no follow in the places like that. What's more, you should avoid sending links on your website to places that have got viruses, that are spammy, that are porn or something like that. Avoid things like that, okay? And we should also avoid sending from our website to the links that do not exist anymore on our site, okay? You should check all the links on your web page, and if one of the link leads to the page that doesn't exist anymore, you need to fix it, okay? Because Google doesn't like things like that. Hey, users doesn't like things like that. When they come to your website and they see that the web page didn't load, it will seem like unprofessional, and they will lose their precious time, and they will be dissatisfied. When somebody is dissatisfied, Google will penalize you for that, okay? So you need to avoid web pages that doesn't exist. And I will tell you also now that you have probably learned some few new things from my course, but you need to remember that when you change, for example, the name of your pages, of the folders, you have to send from the old link people to the new link, and you can do it automatically using something what is called HT access. We're gonna learn how to redirect these pages that do not exist anymore to the new one, okay? So remember about it, because you will not link to them anymore from here, right? But you might have created an article and somebody linked to that article somewhere, and that link will lead to the page that doesn't exist anymore. And whatever power you have gained from so long when your article was available under the address and under the old address is gonna disappear if you do not redirect that power to another place, right? To the new place. And we're gonna learn how to do it in the future. So remember, that's very important. You shouldn't delete articles just like that, bam, or link to the articles that doesn't exist anymore. That's very, very important. The next thing you should remember about is creating breadcrumbs on your website. Breadcrumb is this thing here. When somebody gets to your website, he can be on any level of your hierarchy of your site. So he can be, for example, here in the introduction of Joomla, right? And he doesn't know exactly how navigation on your website works. But with the breadcrumb, he can easily see where he is at the moment, where he can, and how can he easily come to the main site or to the another articles that are connected to the one that he has just read. So it's really important to create a thing like that. What's more, you can use the keywords inside these links, and it's giving you the power for these keywords even more. So remember about creating a thing like a breadcrumb on your website, because it makes your user experience better, which also means that Google will be happy and give you a rank up for it. You should also remember that you should always have a contact information to you when it's visible for everyone, it means that you are a person who really cares about the people that are on your website. Okay, so to sum up, you should always link to the sides of your website using the keywords. You should avoid using things like click here, right? You should also remember that if you do not want the bot of Google to follow the web page, you do not want to give the power, you should use the relational attribute and say that the relation between you and that website is no follow, which means to not follow the page that you are linking to. Okay, and what's more, you should link to the content that is thematically connected to yours. Okay, and it's not only about the pages that you are linking externally, so to other people, but also inside your web page. If you have got the blog about something a bit different from the main site, you should link only to that articles only from that blog. Okay, because you are giving the power from one place to another, and you should only do it when you are sure that you are recommending things that are connected thematically to your main page. It's also very important to notice that bots cannot get to places that are not linked to, which means that if you have got the site on your web page that doesn't have any link to it, the robot will never get to it. Okay, of course, that page could be linked from another site, not your site, but from another website. But well, there needs to be a connection, because it is just a program that is looking and searching, analyzing things, right? The Google bot. And when he cannot find it, he won't find it. Okay, you need to allow him to do it. And that's why it's a good idea to create something what is called sitemaps. But we'll talk about it, how to create them in the future lectures. That's all in the lesson. Thank you very much. Hello everybody. Today we are going to talk about the sitemap of your page. Well, you should create sitemaps, but why? What are maps? Well, think about the treasure map. On a treasure map, you have got traces, you have got paths to the treasure, right? And using these paths, traces, you can follow them and get to the treasure. And in our situation, the treasure is the content of our website. And sitemaps helps Google bots. When Google bot gets here, he can easily get to all of your content, all of the most important content on your website. So he will just come to this sitemap page, and then he can just click on every page, scan it. So it's very cool for the bot, but not only for the bot. It also makes users' life easier. And as I said earlier many times, the key factor to the SEO is to make the user experience better. When somebody wants to see very fast how is your website constructed, he can just go to the bottom, click on the sitemap, and bam, he can then easily see what is on your website. Let's go, for example, to another site like Quora. I really recommend this website. You can ask your questions about SEO, about anything really at all, and people will answer you really good here. So it's very, very, very good website. But let's go back to the topic. As you can see, instantly you can see what topics are covered in this website, right? And this is a sitemap. You can just now look very fast. You have got an overview of that site, right? What topics are covered here? Isn't it great for people who doesn't know what is that website about? You can just easily click here and okay, here I will talk about technology trends, for example, right? So things like that is helpful for people and also for the Google bots. So it's really a good idea to have something like that. And as you can see, sitemaps can be constructed differently, right? What's more, you can, if you want, put some text around the links. You can make descriptions. That's also a good idea, but it takes a bit more time. And you can have something what is called mini maps, When you go to, for example, programming courses, as you can see, I have got here, for example, a description about the C++ course. And as you can see, I have got a link to it, right? Next to that description. If I had added here more courses, I would add to each a description like that, and it helps to boost the keywords that are connected to this anchor text here, to the text here. Because if you are using the text that is connected to the text that is in the link, you are making it more genuine, okay? And Google always looks on the text that is around the link. If the text is connected to the link, he will boost this keyword, and well, even maybe he will think that the things that you talked about around this link is connected to this link, right? So he can make some assumption, and it can boost your ranking not only for the keyword that you have got in the link, but for the text that is around the link. So yeah, that's a good idea to add a text like that, but it's also, as I said earlier, taking lots of time to do things like that, right? So at least do something like that. But remember, you shouldn't make a sitemap just to make a sitemap. So you shouldn't create a sitemap and have every link to your page after comma, right? Like 100 links after comma. That's not a good idea. It should have some kind of interface here, right? When we go to the source code here, as you can see, for example, I made a hierarchy like that. Let's see. Okay, it's here. As you can see, I use the H1 for this, and then for each link from the main category, I have got H2. And if there are sublinks, like for example H2, I have got here listed it in the list item tag, right? Okay, so that's how you make a sitemap, and really make it, because it makes the user experience better. I know that maybe most of you haven't even heard about it, but some people use it and it's helpful for them, and if it's helpful for somebody, it's gonna be a good sign for Google, and he will take you up in the ranking. That's all in the lecture. Thank you very much. Hello everybody, today we are going to talk about Google Webmaster Tools. This name suggests that these tools were created for Webmaster by Google. Yes, that's very cool, because finally we will be able to somehow contact with Google. Well, Google will contact with us, to be precise. Well, in these tools, we will be informed about how our web page is indexed, okay? How often, what was indexed, what wasn't, what problems were met when Google robot was indexing your website, and so on and so on, okay? And that's not all. You will find there some statistics, for example. So it's also very useful. You can also contact with the robots using, for example, robots.txt, or you can add the sitemap of your website there. So lots of cool things. We'll talk about all these things in future, but in this lecture, we'll focus how to, create the Google Webmaster Tools account. So in order to do it, we'll click enter here. And as you can see, here is the web page like that. When you click on it, you will get here, and you just need to click on the search console, but you need to be logged into the Google account. If you don't have Google account, you need to sign up, you need to register, you need to create an account on Google, okay? And then when you click here, you will be automatically logged into the Google Webmaster Tools. And then you need to add your website here, okay? I've already added here one of my websites, this one from Poland. But you can add another one by clicking on this button, add a property. And here you need to type the name of your website. So for example, HTTP. So we need to add a protocol here. And then we need to add the name of your website. So name of my website.com, for example. So when you specify your name of your website here, you need to be careful because you should think now how you want to focus on SEO. Because you can add 3 W's here, www dot or not. You need to remember that unfortunately these two things are different sites, okay? So it's a good idea to focus only on one thing, because otherwise you would have duplicate content, okay? When you are, linking to your page, for example, from other pages, you would like to, focus on one unique name. We'll talk about it more in future also, but for now, just remember, this and this is a different site. So I will stick, for example, to the one without the www, okay? And now when I click add, and now we need to verify that we are the owner of this site, okay? Well, I'm not an owner of this site, so I'm not going to verify it, but I'm just showing you what you will need to do. As you can see, Google can guess probably from which hosting you have got this website. So you can log into your GoDaddy, for example, hosting, and everything will work fine. But there are also alternate methods, and I think the easiest method to verify is this one, HTML file upload. You just need to download this HTML verification file, save it, and just upload it to your server, okay? To the main folder, to the folder which is called public HTML. You just put it there, you click that you are not a robot, you click verify, and your website will be added, okay? So it's pretty awesome, right? And after verifying, of course, your website, you will not see this not verified message. Let's delete this property and let's go into the site that is already verified. And as you can see, here we have got lots of information about your current status of your website. The most important thing is that you can see if everything is working properly. Okay, you can see that DNS is working properly, the server connectivity is working properly, the robots.txt was fetched properly. We'll talk about robots.txt in future lectures. As you can see if there were some errors on your website, if there weren't some websites found. You can see if everything was properly indexed from the sitemap. We'll talk about sitemap that is created just for robot. We've already talked about HTML sitemap, right? And you can also create the sitemap that is only for robots, and you can add them here, okay? And it also improves the speed of indexing your website. What's more, you have got some kind of search analytic. You can see when you click on it what keywords were used to enter your web page. So some simple statistics are also available here. We'll talk all about these features in the future lecture. For now, go on and connect to the Google Webmaster Tools. It's really, really important to, be always connected to the Google, because if something is wrong, you will be firstly connected through this place, okay? And then you can act very fast and you will not lose your ranking in Google. So it's very, very important to create a Google account, connect your website, and then do all these things that we'll do in the future lectures. That's only the lesson. Thank you very much. Hello everybody, today we are going to talk about this file, robots.txt. It is a text file that is read by the robots, and when they read it, they can see if they can index your page fully, or maybe there is a place that you do not want them to go. And as you can see right now on my website, I use something here like that. User agent, this thing says to the robot that the robots that I'm talking about here right now are, and then this asterisk sign this star here, it means that you want to, talk about all robots, not only Google robot. You want to talk to every robot possible, and allow means that you tell them that they can index every page. This slash here means every possible page. And well, if you do not include the robots that take stay on your website, nothing happens. Your web page will still be indexed. But when you do something like that, as you can see, the web page that shows up is the page that is called 404. And this means that the website was not found, right? And the bots that are looking at things like that, they need to process it, they need to load it, and it takes some time, takes transfer. It's always a good idea to include at least a text file like that on your website, okay? But there is a time when you don't want to index something. When is something like that? For example, you have got a forum, and on this forum you have got an off-topic forum, right? Where people just talk about themselves, they introduce themselves. Do you want to index topics like that? It just takes time. Robots will go there and you will lose your precious transfer and the process of your processor on your web server, right? It's not a good idea to allow robots going there. And the good robots will listen to the robots that take stay. It's a good idea to tell you that, because not every robot will listen to it, okay? There are spammy robots that will not listen to it. And you can, fight with them with something what is called HT access, but we'll talk about it in future. But for now, every good robot will listen to something like that, and you can change the behavior. You can disallow, for example, going to the place like that, to the off-topic. Pogawędki means in Polish chat. It's an off-topic forum, right? So we want to exclude this forum, okay, from indexing. How to do it? Well, let's change the robots that it takes time. You can do it from, well, you can do it also from this place. You can, click on your site, go to the crawl, and then go to the robots.txt tester. As you can see, here is the current situation, how it looks like. You can test if robot can go somewhere. So let's check if he can go there. Okay, he can go there. And we can change it. We can, for example, write something like that. Disallow. And then add something like that. And then when I click on this, it's still gonna work fine because I haven't uploaded this file. So in order to do it, well, you can, for example, click the submit button, download the updated code, and then upload it. But we can also open the text editor, do something like that, save, and then send it to the web server. Now you need to click the submit button again and ask Google to update this place here. Now Ctrl+R, so I reload this web page. Oh, come on, there it did. And as you can see, we have gotten our current situation like that. And now, when I do something like that, for example, I put this link here, right? And I click test. As you can see, this place is blocked for the Googlebot. Great. That's what we wanted to achieve, right? It also can't go to any place that is lower. So for example, like that, right? As you can see, it's blocked. Great. Let's check to be sure if something else is not blocked. So for example, like, hey, what about that? As you can see, it's allowed. Okay, so if something is not disallowed, you can do it, right? So you just say what things, cannot be indexed, right? What web pages, what catalogs, what folders can be indexed here, okay? And you just put them one after another, and Googlebot won't be able to index it. And well, they will not even go there, right? And you will not lose your transfer, right? But you need to remember one thing. Do not put here some content that needs security, okay? So for example, admin panel folder or something like that, because as you can see, it's visible for everyone, right? You can get to this place without any problem. Anybody can be here, right? And hacker also can get here, and he can then get to the places that he shouldn't get so easy. So it's better to use something what is called HT password, okay? If you want to read about it, put this thing into the Google, and you can read about how to secure places like that. But this place shouldn't be used for something like that, okay? This is very important. And the next thing is that you need to remember is that you have to add the slash here at the end, okay? Because it means this is a folder, okay? Because if you do something like, for example, like that, it means that you disallow everything that starts from HTML. So if you have, for example, HTML5, then you disallow all these pages also, right? That wouldn't be good, right? You need to remember to always add the slash at the end, okay? Because it means that you disallow this folder and subfolders and things in that, but it doesn't mean, but if you delete this slash, it means also that you do not want to index, for example, of things like that, right? So it's very important to always, let's refresh it, to add the slash at the end. The thing that is also important, let's go here to the site settings. As you can see here, you have got the crawl rate. So what is the rate of crawling your website? And you can use the recommended settings, but you can also limit the Google's maximum crawl rate. And you can use this thing here. When something like that should be used, when you have got enormous page and you can see in your statistics that bots are slowing your web page, but it's very rare. That's only the lesson. Thank you very much. Hello everybody, today we are going to talk about sitemap XML. But before we go into this topic, I would like to tell you what is XML. Well, XML is very similar to HTML. XML means extended markup language, which means that you can extend this markup language, which means that you can invent your own tags. And you can really create any tag you want in XML. But if you want to create XML file that is gonna be interpreted by a robot like Google, you should use tags that are, set by Google, that Google invented, that Google said, this tag will mean this tag will mean this, okay? And so it's similar to HTML, but you can create your own set of tags, like for example, Google created for the sitemaps, and you can create your own tags if you wanted to create your own robot for analyzing what products you have got on your website. To be honest, this topic is enormous, but in our situation, SEO, you just need to know that sitemap.xml is a file where you put tags like that: URL, log, change frequency, priority. So you put in the log, which stands for location, the location of website you want to index. And then you set the change frequency, which means what should be the frequency of crawling on your website, and priority, which you set from 0 to 1, and you say how important that website is on your web page compared to others, okay? So this is just information that speeds up the process of indexing your web pages, because Google will just go here and bam, he will know all the links that are important on your website. And you give small hints about how it should interpret this website, how often it should visit them, and how important they really are. Remember, do not lie here. Do not set everywhere priority to 1, because it's not true, right? Do not set change frequency to always, to hourly in every page, because it's also not true. Try to be fair, right? Because if Google will see that you are lying to him here, he will just not listen, okay? These things can help you a lot, because if you are, for example, making a blog that you update daily, you can set the frequency rate to daily. And Google, when he comes to your website and he'll notice that it really is updated daily, he will come more often and you will get your content faster into the Google index. So it's really important to, to not lie in the place like that, okay? So these are the values that you can use in the change frequency tag. And always means always hourly. Well, it means hourly. Well, this is self-descriptive, so there is nothing to explain here. Try not to set anything to never, because well, it means for Google that he shouldn't count there never. Maybe he'll come someday there, but it's when you have something set to something like never, Google will think that your website is old, right? Is not being updated, and it's not a good idea. Let the Google bot see it for himself. So XML5 is really a text file, which you can edit like HTML file, right? In the Notepad or another text editor. So I can just do something like that, for example, bam. And I can add here a new site and then change the frequency and the priority. That thing here you can just copy from the source file. Do not even try to remember it, do not even try to analyze it. You do not need to understand what's going on here. That's just a definition of what the namespace of XML you are going to use. That's really not something that is important, okay? Just copy it and everything will work fine. And to be honest, I haven't done it manually. As you can see, I have generated it on this website because it takes lots of time to type every page on your website that you want to index. It's best to do something like that, to go to the xml-sitemaps.com and then type here the URL and then set the change frequency. As I said, do not lie in the change frequency, which means that you should set it to none or, for example, to monthly, and then change it manually. Remember, you can set here the last modification, set it to none, or you can use the server response. I think none is best because, well, then Google will come to your website more often and he will update, the content in the index. But, well, if you don't want Google to go on to the sites that are not updated, you can use the exact time. But the problem about it is that every time you update something, you need to update it in the XML5, which takes time. So I think it's best to set it to none. The priority, set it to automatically calculated priority, and then remember to set the priority manually. Because, well, automatically, as always, is not a good idea because it will set it probably not the way you think about your website, what is important or what is not, right? So remember, you set it from 0 to 1, okay? 1 for the most important, and then the subsites, I think they should get 0.8. The things that are not important, 0.4 or less, okay? It really depends on what you think about your website. So just click start, then it will generate the sitemap. You just click the download button after the sitemap is created and you put it into the main folder of your website, to the root folder. And well, that's almost all, because you should also add it into the Google Webmaster Tools. So you choose your website, then you go to the Google, to the crawl settings, and then go to the sitemaps. And then you click here, add test sitemap, you type your sitemap XML, you click submit, then you test it, and then Google will start indexing the site from the sitemap. And the cool thing is that it will also inform you how many sites of that sitemap was indexed, and it will also tell you if something was wrong. As you can see, I made a mistake there. I put wrong URL, And I got informed. That's cool, right? Google Webmaster is cool because we are just humans and we tend to make mistakes. And well, if we make a mistake, we will be informed pretty fast by Google that something was wrong. So to sum up, it's a good idea to create XML sitemap because you can give hints to the robot about changing frequency, about priority of your sites, and it also speeds up the process of indexing your pages because it will be easier to get to every page from here rather than from your site, right? Because he doesn't need to analyze all text and other things like that. So it's different from the HTML sitemap, right? Because an HTML sitemap, you can put text around links, you put a name for each link, and HTML sitemap is accessible for everyone. But sitemap XML is accessed only by Google bots, and you can give additional hints about how to index, how often index your web page, and what is the priority of page. That's all in the lesson. Thank you. Hello everybody. Today we are going to talk about MetaTag that was especially created for robots. Inside its content, you can set if the robot that is crawling your website should index this site and if it should follow the links that are on this site. And this first setting is set by default. So you can do something like that. Add this meta name robots and content index follow on your web page, but you don't need to. It is a default behavior, okay? So you don't need to do it unless, someday the default behavior will change. But I'm sure that this thing was so long used in the internet where the default setting was set to index and follow, then it should never change, okay? But if you want to, you can edit, you do not need to. However, if you want to, for example, say something like no index, which means I don't want to index this page that this tag is on, but I want the crawler, the robot, to follow all the links. When situation like that might happen, you can have, for example, a forum or offsite forum, right? Some place where people talk about things that are not connected to your website. So it's probably a good idea to not index pages like that, but it's good idea to follow the links that are on the pages like that. Because, you can have, for example, on the forum, in the upper left corner, the logo of your main site. And you can send the juice, the power that was gathered on that page to the main page. So it's a good idea, right? You don't want to index these pages, but you want to give the power away, right? Because otherwise that power will just be there and it will just, never meet the light. You can also set here follow to no follow, but don't do it because, if you can't vouch for the links that are on your web page, how can Google, believe that you have got a good content on your web page, right? It's of course it can happen when for one link on your page, right? So relation like that, okay, it might happen. So why not? But it's not something that should happen to every link on your page, right? So believe me, do not set no follow attribute here, okay? It's better to set it always on follow. Of course, you can also index and no follow, but as I said earlier, it's not a good idea because Google will not think good of you. It's best to use no index and follow, or index and follow, or just nothing, because index and follow means it's a default behavior. Some people type here all, which means also index and follow. So, it doesn't matter, you can delete it if you do not want to use no index and follow. But it's a good idea to know about existence of this thing because lots of people might ask you about it, or you might wonder what this meta tag is for. So for now, you know that you do not need to worry about it. unless you want to set a page on your website to no index and follow. That's all in this lesson. Thank you very much. Hello everybody, today we are going to talk if the validation, so checking if everything is properly written on your website in HTML code, is crucial to SEO. In order to check if your code was written properly, you need to type HTML validator in the Google and then go to that website validator.w3.org, and you need to paste here the address. Because we right now have got this file locally, we're gonna use this tab, validate by direct input. So it means that I can copy the code from here and paste it here. So let's do it. In order to go to the source code, I need to use the shortcut Ctrl+U, and then I will use the shortcut Ctrl+A from all and Ctrl+C from copy, and now I will just paste it here, Ctrl+V, and I'll just click check. Let's wait a second. As you can see, we have got one warning. Warning is just a warning, so it's just a hint. It says, this document appears to be written in English. Consider adding language English. Yes, it's a good idea to add here language English, because then bot will instantly know that you have got a website in English, right? So he will not need to analyze the text inside. He just instantly know, hey, this site is in English. So it's a good idea to do it. And it is just a warning. But you can have got also here errors, some mistakes that you made in code, or a programmer that was creating your code, right? And then you will have information about all these warnings, and then you will have to fix them. Well, maybe you do not have to do it, but it's a good idea to do it, because some errors like that can be bad. For example, look, when we have got strong here, right, and we delete this strong from here, now we have got here an open tag, and this open tag affects all the tags and all other things below. So if you have got errors like that, it's crucial to fix them, I think. You might have some, errors like that, even not unclosed tag, right? That's not good errors. This one can affect your ranking, I think. So it depends on what errors you have got on website. I think it's better to have your code error-free, because your site will load faster, and the Google bot, the crawler that will crawl your website, will have easier time analyzing what you have got here, okay? That's all in that lesson. Thank you very much. Hello everybody. Today we are going to talk about how domain authority, page authority can affect your position in the Google ranking. The first thing we need to talk about is why something like authority might affect your Google ranking. Well, imagine that you have got a company in IT field. So there you have got some programmers, and there is one programmer who has worked for this company for over 25 years. And surely this guy has got lots of experience. His authority is enormous in this company. So if he recommends somebody, if he says, I think that this new guy is pretty good, it means that, hey, you're like, oh my God, this guy recommended him. He must be good, right? That's how it works. So if Udemy.com would talk about you because his domain authority is very high, it will be great for you. Because, well, Google would instantly see, hey, that guy who has been so long with us, that has got so many links talking about him, is recommending this new site. Okay? So it's a good idea to have links from sites like, for example, Udemy. And your ranking doesn't need to be so high. I'm sure that you will not get as far as Udemy, at least not so fast, right? You will be probably far, far, far away from it, but it doesn't mean that you will not show up in the Google. Google is not like that. If you have got a unique content that is good, and sites like Udemy or many mini sites will recommend you using links that has got keywords that are connected to the phrase that somebody is looking for, you will be in Google ranking anyway. So, this ranking that we see here, that authority is more important from the perspective when you want to achieve links, okay? When you want to get links from somebody. From your perspective, okay, it's a good idea to have domain authority, because when you publish something, crawler, when he comes to the website that has got lots of authority, means that the content is probably already good, right? So he gives you probably a bonus, but it's not as important as getting links from places like that, okay? In 2013, there was something what was called PageRank, and it was created by Google. Well, not in 2013, it was up to 2013. It's been deleted since then. You can, do something like PageRank checker, and you can then go and check the page rank of your site or another site, and this is a page rank from 2013, and it was created by Google, and well, it wasn't estimated, it was Google page rank. Things like that, the tools that I'm showing you right now, these things are estimated. They are not 100% accurate. So you cannot believe them 100%, but they are estimating it from long time, so probably you can believe it a bit, right? You can see easily if somebody has got a good site, or maybe it's not worth to even put the link in the place like that. Because you can check easily if the domain is spammy. As you can see, even Udemy has the spam score 3 on 17, but it's only because some people might link to it that are bad people. And you will never avoid something like that. Because some people will want you to fail, right? And they will link to you from spammy places, and you will not be able to do anything about it. But do not worry, because even in real life, look, if somebody who is bad person would recommend a novice person, you as a person wouldn't exactly know what to think about it, right? Because it might be a good recommendation, but also it might be a bad recommendation. So it's very neutral, right? It will be too easy to remove your competitor from the Google. You will just need to go to some spammy websites and ask them to put the link to your competitor. It would be just too easy, right? When you have got lots of other good links from places like, for example, Udemy or any other that has domain authority at about 30, 20, you're gonna look good in Google's eyes, okay? To sum up this lesson, get as many links as you can from other places, but try to get these links from the places that are worth your time, that has got high domain authority and many backlinks. So the person that is recommending you can be trusted, right? Because it means also that you can be trusted. I know that you might be frightened a bit right now, because getting to a place like that might seem impossible for you. And probably it is for most of the websites, right, on the internet. But as I said earlier, do not worry. The most important thing is to have, as I said in the previous lectures, to have great content, unique one. You need to have breadcrumbs, you need to have properly named folders, titles, H1, semantic tags, and things like that. And then, if people will link to you, it means that you have got a big chance to get up very fast and very high in Google ranking index. So do not worry, you do not have to be as popular as a site like that. Thank you very much, that's all in the lesson. Hello everybody, today we are going to talk about external links. So we are going to talk about backlinks, so links that are coming back to us. So what to do to get as much power as you can from external links, because as you could, put the power from one website to another in internal links, you can also take the power from other sites that recommends you. Okay, before we start this topic, I would like to talk about types of links because it's very important, because all your links should be diverse. They should vary, okay? Look, you can have many types of links. You can have URL type, so you just put the domain name or the name of the subsite with the HTML. These are pretty natural links. Natural means that they look in the Google crawler eyes like they are not artificially created, okay? They are just natural because, well, people make errors. They do not make links that are accurate, like MetaTag, C++, C++ course, Java tutorial, bikes, treatment. Okay, some of them will, but most of the people will make links, like for example, URL one, or for example, no SEO links. What is no SEO links? It's something like, for example, or more, okay? They will just put in the place like that to see more, something like that. It's natural, okay? And this is one of the type of links. And you need to have these types. They do not give you as much power as the accurate links, right? But you should have them. You have got a graphic type of link, which means that you just put the graphic here. And well, you will get the power from the, for example, keywords that are around, from the text around the image, okay? So it's also helpful. And the one that I like the most is extended text link. So for example, about meta tags for robots, more about C++, ran from the Java tutorial here, great mountain bikes, acne treatment with expert. As you can see, there are many words here, like for example, about, for, more, about, learn from, great, with expert. This is not needed, right, from the SEO perspective. But, well, the truth is, it's helping you because these links are gonna help you and they will not look artificially. They will look from the Google crawler eye that they are natural, okay? And you will still gain lots of benefits from them. So I like extended text links the most, okay? You can have types of links, like for example, with the brand name, with the name of your company. These are good ones also. Forum footer, so you just put in the footer of every post the link to your main site. This is also good, but you can't overdo. You can't have, like, for example, 90% of accurate links, right? Accurate links, I think this is giving you the most benefit. But if you have too many of them, the accurate links, you're gonna get something what is called fix from Google, which means that you are going to get punished, penalized for being, not good person, right? Because you shouldn't play with with that. You shouldn't create external links. These things should be created by other people that are linking to great content. Of course, you gonna do it, but you're not gonna do it proper way. And it's not something that you should focus on only, okay? Because this is something that might get you caught if you do not do it properly, right? So that's why I'm telling you now, be careful. You need to have the links that are coming back to you. They need to be diverse, okay? So what else should we avoid? Well, we should avoid identical phrases inside link text. We have talked about it already. And links from the same IP. Oh, what does it mean? Well, if you have got a hosting and you have got a website there, and imagine you have got, for example, 3 different websites there, they are probably on the same IP, which means they have got just different domain, but they are on the same server, right? With the same IP. And the problem is that, well, Google can easily check it and it will know that you are linking from your own pages. That's not a good idea. The next thing you should avoid is to add your different pages to Google Webmaster Tools, right? If they are linking to each other, and even if they are from different IP, and but they are in the same Google Webmaster Tools panel, that can also mean that you are linking to yourself. Okay, avoid it. You should avoid linking to only one page, and mostly it's main page, right? But you should link to other pages because it means that your content is good, right? Because on main page there is most time no content, there are just links to sub pages, and you should link to the subsites. I think you should mostly focus on linking to the subsites because other people will most time link to your main page, okay? So focus on linking to your subsites, sometimes maybe to the main page. You should also avoid linking from not connected thematically website because it looks suspicious, right? It looks like you have just bought this link. You paid for it. That's not good, okay? So you should link from websites that are connected thematically to yours. No diversity of keywords inside the text link. We've already talked about it. No diversity of type of URLs, right? We've also talked about it. And you should avoid sudden increase of backlinks to your site that is also suddenly soon stopped. And what does it mean? Well, you can, for example, buy a service of linking to your site. And if they don't do it properly, you will lose lots of money and lots of power to your site. Because if it's sudden, it looks like you have bought it, right? And it's also and if it's also suddenly stopped, it also means that it's not natural, right? These things, the way you get links should increase gradually, which means it should increase little by little, okay? You should also avoid having too many backlinks without no follow attribute. Why? That's a great question. Look, you have got here something like relation no follow. We've talked about it already because we could, say that this, I don't want to move the power from that side, from the robots option to this side. And you might be, but why I don't want power from other side? What is the problem? Well, because there are many sites that have got on their website automatically set the no follow attribute to every link that is coming outside. And well, if you have only links like that, it means that you have probably bought them, you have created them on your own, right? But if you have some of them like that, it means that you are natural, right? You are not looking artificially to the Google crawler eyes. The best way to get some no-follow relation links is to get them, for example, from the forum footers, right? From the posts. You can put there the name of your website with the link to your website. Most forums allows it, and well, you can get it easily there because it will increase the amount of no-follow backlinks. Of course, you do not want to have every link to you like that because well, you wouldn't get the power, and that will not be good for you. So how backlinks should be created? Let's sum up. They should have diverse text links. They should have diverse types, which means, as I said earlier, for example, URL, graphic, they can be extended. I like the extended version the most. And there should be some errors that you made, right? Like, for example, more to see here. But the most important thing is they should be diverse. They should lead to the main site, but also to the subpages. And I think you should focus mostly on subpages. They should be from different IP, and the backlinks should come from the thematically connected content. And the surroundings, so the text that is around the link, should also be connected to the site, to your site. And they should be created little by little, which means gradually, which means no sudden spike in amount of links, okay? You should try to avoid it. You should look natural. That's the most important thing. So in this lesson, we talk about backlinks, about how to create them, but we don't know how to gather them, right? How to get these links. What is the best way to acquire links like that? About these things, we'll talk in future lectures. That's only a lesson. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. Today we're going to talk about directories. What is that thing? Well, it's just a simple website that directs to other websites. And the problem about this site is that there are hundreds, thousands of links inside a site like that. So from the Google perspective, it looks a bit like artificial, right? It's not valuable from the SEO perspective because, well, when you see so many links, it means that, well, probably nobody will look at them, right? Because tell me when you last time went to the directory like that. Probably never, or maybe it was a long time ago, and or it's just rarely, right? So directories are sites that are visited only by crawlers, right, nowadays. But it's good idea to at least start add your site to a few of them. Do not lose your precious time in future, okay? Because it's really not worth your time. You can use your time to improve the content, to write an article that you can guest post somewhere. We'll talk about it later. But adding to the directories your URL, your link, is just lose of time most time. Not always, because there might be some valuable directories that has got enormous page authority and domain authority, and they have got lots of external links going to that page. You can check it on this side or any other authority checker site. And then maybe adding a link like that is valuable, but it takes time. You need to pay for it because when you click here, then you can look here and you can add and pay for it money, right? But you could use this money to even pay somebody to create an article, right? That would be more useful or improve your content. So from the SEO perspective nowadays, adding your business to places like that might be a bit useful, but I wouldn't focus on it, okay? Here is a good article about places that might be worth adding your link to. Other places are local directories, when you type something like website directory and then the name of your city, then you will probably, if there are directories in your city, see some local directories. These are not so bad, right? But still, do not lose your precious time. Just a few, or maybe one per month. And the most important thing, please avoid anybody who tells you that he will add automatically hundreds of or thousands of links to your website to some directories. It's gonna cost you more afterwards because you can get a fix, so you're gonna get penalized probably. Maybe not, maybe you will not, but because it really depends on how many links are going to you. But that's not a good idea, right? Because it's just artificial. You just lose your time to contact this guy and to pay him, right? You could use your time, your resources somewhere lots of better. Remember, time is the most precious thing you have got in your life. This is the only resource that you have got as much as any person in the universe. So remember, value your time. That's all in the lesson. Thank you very much. Hello everybody, today we're going to talk about the link exchange systems. As you can see, if you are going to use them, then, well, imagine that this big finger is Google and you are this webmaster. Google will crush you, which means that he will ban you or maybe use the fix, which is the penalty for the keywords that you were trying to rank up for. So what is link exchange system? Well, a link exchange is something that is just exchanging between you and friend. And that's not gonna probably give you any penalty, but it's also not gonna give you any special bonus because it can be easily seen, right? But well, you could link to your friend and your friend could link to you from another website, not from the same, right? And they could be on different IPs. Then something like that could help you, right? It will look natural. It will look like a genuine link. But, well, the problem about systems is that they are big. They are hard to, operate. They are hard to maintain. Because when there are many links in the system, it's like, for example, you have got on one page, for example, 10 external links going to different pages, and one of the link might be yours, right? And then, well, it it doesn't look like it's natural, right? It's not something that is genuine for Google. He will look at this and he's like, hey, why there are so many links next to each other and they point to different websites, and even that websites are not connected thematically to each other, right? This is just weird from the Google perspective. And what's more, links like that can disappear from internet because the exchange system might stop working. It's also not good when you have got lots of links coming towards you and they suddenly disappear. That's also weird, right? You also do not have any warranty that your link is gonna be on a good, healthy, with a good domain authority site. There is no good, I think, in this moment benefits from link exchange systems. So just avoid them. This lesson was such long because, this is a Black Hat SEO technique, and I should tell you about it because many SEO companies might use it and you will even not know it, and you might get hit by Google because of it. So repeat after us. I'm happy white SEO user. We're gonna create a great content. Let's use our funds. Well, let's use money to buy, for example, articles instead of buying links or using the link exchange systems, right? That's all in that lesson. Thank you very much. Hello everybody, today we are going to talk about facilities. Sometimes they are called link farms, and I think this name is even better for that thing. But what is that thing, that facilities? Well, they are just websites, the one like you have. So it's just a website that should look genuine. It should link to other websites and it should have content. It would be best if that content was connected thematically to the content that you have on your website. Why? Because then you could link from that place to you. So that link farms, that facility is really something that belongs to you. This is just another website that belongs to you, and you link from it to yourself. I think it sounds a bit bad, right? So if Google catches you with that, then you might be crushed. Because this is a black hat SEO technique. Yes, I'm talking about it because, well, I think this technique is rather gray hat technique. It's something between white and black because it's very, very hard to be spotted when you are using it properly. But it also takes lots of time, and really, you should use it on your own responsibility, but I will tell you how to do it. Well, the first thing is that you need to create a website. The fastest way to create a website is through using something what is called, for example, WordPress. WordPress allows you to create a website by clicking a few buttons and then add a new article by clicking another few buttons, but of course you need to create this article. It would be best if that article was good, because when you have a link farm like that, when you have got a facility like that, it would be great if other people link to that facility too, right? Because links from the place that has no links towards it is just not gonna help you. So you will just lose your precious time. So we have to create a great content. So it's probably a good idea to create a blog, or maybe something funny about something funny. Maybe you could create something what would be useful to other people, right? You could help people there with their normal problems. It really depends on you. It depends on what you're trying to rank for, right? But you need to get some links to that place too. as you can probably guess, it takes time. But what you should avoid, what you can't do when you try using the black hat SEO technique like that? Well, look, the first thing, you should avoid adding to the Google Webmaster Tools more than one website here, okay? Well, you can add here more than one website, but they should not link to each other, because Google can spot it easy. The next thing is that you should type SEO hosting in the Google and find the one that will allow you to have different IP for different domain name. Because normally, by default, most hostings allows you to host your website on something what is called shared hosting. You share the hosting with other people. You have got just different domains, but you have got the same IP behind the domain, okay? And well, that's not good, right? Because, well, it's easy to spot what domains are on each IP for Google at least. And well, you can be easily caught with that. So you need to find special SEO hosting that allows you to have many domains with many IPs, okay? That's the next thing. And the truth is that you're probably never gonna be caught, but in order to get some benefit from it, you need to do it properly, right? You need to get links to the place like that, so you need to create a great content. And I think that you are probably asking yourself, is it worth your time? Maybe yes, maybe not. It depends on how much time you have. Well, I prefer to make a great content on my own website, right? And get links to my sub-sites, and then, link to other sites from my website internally. But this is also a good way to make your website rank higher. It's not something that is not gonna help you, right? If you do it properly, it's gonna look like genuine links, and you're gonna rank up higher. That's on the lesson. Thank you very much.